Alright, hello. Let me make an announcement on Discord that we're live and we'll get right into casting some ladder games. Let's see, where's my YouTube link? Are we live on YouTube? I think we're good on YouTube. You? Right. So, I should start game, I should start Capture Age, I should turn my programs on. How's everyone doing? How are we doing? Do we have people in the chat yet? I just started, probably not. Use mini dashboard in Capture Age, I don't know what that does. I should empty my save game folder from yesterday too. Oh, also TTL Silver is starting today. I don't think we have any matches scheduled, but maybe we'll cast that if we see it. I need to get my overlays set up for that. Let's see, DE. How long will it take AoE2 DE to open? Probably 2 or 3 minutes. This game takes a while. And hello, Global Cup. How are you doing? Well, Death Counter, once again, have the feeling that AoE2 player is very conservative when it comes to playing modded AoE2. Why would people play modded AoE2? What's the context? I mean, everyone plays map mods. I think it's more that installing mods takes time. And you have to click more buttons. And thank you, MFAOE. What do we got here? Okay, now the game has started. I was going to empty my rec folder so that we can open and close it faster. I casted 20 games yesterday, at least. Okay. Let's see what we have going on today. I have too many windows open. I don't know how to organize them. And g'day from Australia. Hello, Jupe9999. How you doing? Alright, how about Tato Heart? That feels like a good one. A brief spec delay before that one gets started, so we're good. Yeah, Doubt is definitely struggling. Indeed, indeed. That will be in the yellow. Tato in the red, and the map shall be Alpine. Yeah, Doubt really dropped the other day. It's... Well, he's still in 12th, but Sebastian has a really good chance of overtaking him. G'day, y'all. Oh, look at all those lovely dancing Teutonic Knights. Now remember, we're only 25 subs away from the chicken costume. So we'll see if we hit that this weekend. That would be crazy. I might do 2 streams today. I might do a short one like in the morning and then stream again later. So I'll probably take a lunch break. So Korean's Mirror, who would have guessed? YouTube chat visible, heart in the yellow. And there we are, overlays set up. Overlay is set up. And again, I'm interested in what people think about the scoreboard at the top. I tried using a serif font to stand out, but maybe it looks too different from the rest of the Capture Age fonts and I should change it. Yeah, not bugged this time. What an accomplishment. I'll have Heart, VIT Heart now, although I will, apologies to Heart, I will remove the VIT tag from his name because it doesn't actually fit down here. I'll need to... I don't know, do some updates to my overlay stuff so I actually have properly fitting stuff down there. Alright. Pause my YouTube stream so I'm not watching myself 3 times. Alright, so we will have here Heart adding in a house near his chickens. Ah, the chickens. Gotta love chickens. Partially funneled and running around. Oh, it's not a house, it's a mill. 2x2 Foundation got me. Roaring Moose, hello, hello, good morning. Ooh, it is still morning. It's a lovely morning for some Age of Empires. Scouts will be hitting each other. Tato has the HP lead, and he has some archers coming over. So that could be bad for Hart. Hart will have to run. You don't like serif fonts? This just in, Hart has been removed from VIT. More like Capturage doesn't show his name down here if I put the team. I'll have to remove the teams. I wish I didn't have to do that. I like having the team name there. Oh, thank you also jumping from YouTube to following on Twitch. Thank you. Well, welcome into the Twitch stream. As we are almost at 15k followers. We're at 14,736. That would be a lovely number for us to hit. And we also need to hit 30k on YouTube. G'day, made it in here. Yeah, remember, I am streaming on YouTube too, so if Twitch plays ads and you don't want to watch the ads, you can hop over to YouTube where I keep the ads off. I had been streaming in 4K on YouTube, but I seem to have some issues with that. Oh, and Smurf, thank you very much for the sub. Let me hear what the voice line is.
Bonjour, Jean. My colleague and I will escort you to the Chateau of the Dauphin, or else we will die trying.
I love these sub alerts. I have my headphones off because my ears need to breathe. I feel like my ears were sore from wearing headphones for like however many hours I've streamed this week, so I'm casting without sound, which I do sometimes, but I'll have to listen to the quotations so that I hear what you get when you sub. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate it, and the tier 1 sub that'll count towards Partner Plus. So here we have a big Skirm War, Koreans with a Skirm War. Who would have guessed? And one thing I've learned is that champions are good in this matchup, but it seems like, aside from Dune Springs, where it's a Roman mirror, pretty much every other map is a Korean's mirror now. Even without the siege towers. You suspect a strong correlation between the Teutonic Knight outfit and spikes in follower counts. I don't know, part of me thought people would unfollow from that. We should get other units though, do more cosplays. I had fun with that. I don't know what an IEM is. I do also have just earbuds, but I also have sometimes my ears get sore from wearing earbuds in my ears too, and they're wireless and they only last for 5 hours. So I've streamed with them before, but then they've died mid-stream. And I absolutely hate having a wire connected to anything. These headphones also are good. I got them, I think, in 2017, 2018, so they're good 8 or 9 years old. They're still wonderful. I've replaced the earbuds several times. Oh my god, the message held for review. I'm sick and tired of Koreans. Without context, that message is held for review. I take it IEM means in-ear, but I don't know what EM means. In-ear Mangudai? Those would be scary. So Castle Age first for Hart, but he's been on the defensive for the most part. Tato's killed the Vil, and we'll have a stronger eco for the moment because Hart's up to the Castle Age. Our slightly nicer earbuds, M is for monitor. Stuff broadcasters use. So when we, I will say this, when we cast at LAN events, we have the absolute worst headphones. Because instead of having complete over-ear headphones, with like a gap for your ears, they're the flat ones that you just put on your ears, and oh my gosh, I hate those. I hate those so much. They're so uncomfortable to wear. At least my experience at 2 LAN events, that's what I've had. Yeah, on ear. They're pretty industry standard, but so painful. So another house coming up here. You inject Bluetooth and battery-based tyranny. That's why I love the these ones, the over-ear headphones, because they're large enough that the battery's a decent size, and I can cast for 14 hours and still have battery left over, so they work out well for me.
예. 준비. 예.
Skirms fending off some Vills. Hart needing to fight with the Vills. Tato's Skirm numbers have grown, but he'll have to get out as Elite Skirm is coming in for Hart. Yeah, the ACCM win streak continues. Right, ACCM beat Hart last night. They had a Korean's Mirror on Karsts. ACCM's probably going to have to start playing more, though, because
예.
everyone else is climbing. Viper's catching him. I think the top 6 is probably pretty set.
예. 준비.
Of Viper, ACCM,
대기.
Hart, Leary, Vinch, and Hera. And from the start, I think I was saying that I felt Hera, Vinch, and Leary would be top 3.
준비.
And the fight would be for the 4th spot. So Hart, Viper, ACCM fighting for the 4th spot is what I think it'll be. You tired of the Civ? Their food is awesome.
대기. 준비.
Have I had Korean food? Yes, I have had Korean food
예.
before.
대기. 준비.
Yeah, back when I was in Ithaca.
준비. 예. 대기. 예.
So Skirms trying to take down the Fire Lancer, dealing with the elite Skirms. Tato has numbers that he's daring to take the fight. He's taking the fight, and it's decently working out for him. 16-10, and Tato has the hill. He has more reinforcements on the way. So far so good as far as military composition for the slower Castle Age. One thing Tato has to be aware of is Hart getting that second TC added in. But Tato will have different ways to play this once he's up. Buying Vitality stocks? Well, Vinch is on Amaru. Vinch is on Amaru.
준비.
Viper is teamless now, and ACCM is Wonders now, right? He's Wonders. So we'll have to do another Cartographers soon. I'll propose that in the next round of tournament propositions. I'll see if maybe we can partner with people though. I'd love to make it an S tier event.
준비.
예. 예.
대기.
준비.
It's going down.
예.
And the rocket cart will end the skirms off. Yeah, I would love to see ACCM continue the win streak. Like I said, I want to go back. I'll make like a video. I'll do like, if anyone, I don't know what other countries have for sports highlights, for soccer or whatnot. But for NFL highlights, in the US, we have ESPN and Monday Night Football, where we have this thing called Fastest 3 Minutes that's been going on since at least the 90s. Which is basically, you have 3 minutes to recap every NFL game
준비. 예.
of the week during halftime, and you have like, I don't know, 10 to 20 seconds of footage of each game. Even that. I'll need to time it and see how long it lasts. But I was thinking I could do something like that for ACCM's win streak. But the longer he makes the win streak, the harder that becomes. I think I need to start that now before the win streak ends and start recording. Because he might have a lot more games to play this weekend. I think that'd be a really fun video.
예.
Adam would watch that. Because I'll need to go through. Last night I was watching. Oh my gosh, nice rocket cart shot on Tato's skirms. Last night I was watching. And immediately after ACCM won, Hart, Hera, and Vinch all queued each other. And Hera and Vinch found each other and all like, hey, you're not ACCM. We're both trying to snipe him. Here we had Hart and Hera trying to snipe ACCM, finding each other. And then he got Nikov. Oh, this entire thing's been great of players trying to find him and then losing. Oh, ACCM's playing right now? Oh my gosh, he's playing right now? Wait. Where do I? He is. Oh, he's playing. Who the heck is this? He's not even playing anyone. That guy's a 1300 RM. I say I'd cast that, but he's gonna win that. This is gonna be 34. Oh, double Vil kill. Double Vil kill. Well, after this game, we'll hunt ACCM. I have no doubts that if his opponent CeeLo is 1300, that ACCM will win. He's farming the win streak. Yes. All right, nice damage from Hart with the skirms. Ran in through the open wood line. The TC did not deter the armored elite skirms, And the knight, will this be enough? The knight has only 1 armor, so I doubt that'll clean much. As long as Hart gets some good shots in. This is what I'm thinking. We've talked so much about skirms being OP. My thought is still that the skirms, they have 1 minimum range. That could be increased to 2. Give skirms 2 minimum range. And then melee units would be much more effective against them. That's my thought process. Skirms with 2 minimum range. Oh, Hart. That Vil. Oh, 1 HP. Perfectly calculated from Hart. He wasn't going to idle the villager when he knew he'd survive. 1 HP is all you need. He's already on a farm, living life on the farm. And the skirms all go down. 3 spots to the land plus 1 for the longest win streak. ACCM should get something for the longest win streak. That has been impressive. Hello, Merry Meepers. Now, Tato defending with the towers, but Hart now up 78 to 66 Vils. And getting that TC added in earlier, even though he was losing the military, seems to have paid off for him. Remember, on this map, you are really far apart. And booming is the way to go for the most part, as Hart starts picking up relics. Alright, that was a sneeze. Hello. I hope I muted myself. Ooh. Thank you for the blessings from Doubt. They help recover from all the dust. It's bad in the winter because I have to turn the heat up. What I do is I turn the heat up before I stream and then turn it off during the stream so the mic doesn't pick it up. But that also makes the dust circulate a bit from all the heat. Mute micro on point. Nice. There was that time years ago, I had gotten my first COVID vaccine, and I titled the stream Vaccinated Stream. And I was accidentally muted, but no one pointed it out because everyone assumed I was just sick from getting the vaccine and wasn't saying anything, when really I was talking the entire time. I wasn't using a webcam, and no one pointed it out. No one pointed it out. I was trying to talk to the chat. I thought they were hearing me. They were real active, but it took like an hour before someone said something. Moving 1 base damage to their bonus damage. I don't think that would do anything, because in Skirm versus Skirm Wars, let's see, what are the stats? You're still relying solely on the bonus damage. That would just mean Skirms kill each other faster. And it's in some sense, it's not really Skirms versus other units, it's Skirms versus Skirms. And there are a lot of units where Skirms already do the 1 minimum damage. And because they're only doing 1 damage, changing their stats won't do anything because they're already doing the minimum damage. I saw a lot of games, was it TTL? It wasn't TTL, I forget what the event was. But Crater was a map. It might have been Medieval Masters. Yeah, I think that was it over the summer. Where I saw, or what's the one? The one with all the hunt in it. We had it for Sudden Disaster. But anyway, I saw Skirm versus Longsword. And the Skirms would win because you get to 30 to 40 Skirms, and then 2 volleys of arrows kill Longswords, even if you're doing 1 damage. Oh, Ringlord, thank you for the sub.
Behold, the horde of Genghis Khan approaches.
Horde of Genghis Khan. There's no audio, nor are you. That looks like it's on your end, because I'm good here. I'm glad you're covering the ladder. We're really glad you're watching. Okay, speed to 0.92. I think I don't know. I don't want to make them awkward to micro too much, and I like that they walk at the same speed as archers. I wouldn't want to touch the speed all that much. And Monk's going down. Look at that Monk micro to dodge the javelins and get a conversion on the knight. Both those knights Tato needs to delete. They're low on HP, but oh, 2 very low HP knights converted and healed up. Tato needed to delete there. And Tato feels like he's struggling. Hart's taking a good lead. Yeah, YouTube's saying we're good. So, barracks coming up. Lots of barracks for Tato.
저요?
대기. 예? 대기. 준비. 예? 대기.
And skirms go down. Now, Hart 33 military to 1. But that military is skirms, and Tata will be pumping out Fire Lancers. But Hart already doing Fire Lancers himself. And he's up to Imp. I don't know if this will be GG once Hart hits Imp, but Tata feels pretty far behind. I still need to get the viewer count to include YouTube. I need to figure out how to read or what their API is. Thank you, Utrakan, for the follow. Poor Tato. Have we seen? We've seen a couple of games go for the building in the middle. Well, for the most part, it doesn't affect anything until Imp. ACCM +2? Yeah, plus that. I looked at the game and thought that's easy win for ACCM. He's only gonna get 2 points. They're not gonna affect anything. We'll find him right after this game. I think Hart's gonna win this one pretty quickly. He'll hit Imp and then probably run over Tato. See Tato. As I say that, maybe Tato's gonna have some epic 75-minute score win comeback with the Tower of London, but things are looking pretty bleak for him. He'll be 20th by the time all this is over. I don't know. I mean, it's based on your highest rating, so other players would have to climb a lot for him to fall that much. I mean, he certainly could fall out of the top 4. I don't see him falling out of the top 8. Remember, he's going to win more games. It's not like he's stuck at his current elo. He can certainly play more, and even if he loses, still be okay. Oh, and there is the GG. Hart does it. And now we can hunt for ACCM. Thank you, Tato. Thank you, calling GG at the right time. And we will hunt for ACCM as we're getting even closer to that chicken cosplay goal. All right. So we look for ACCM. Tato's against Yo. Viper's against Sebastian. We're waiting for ACCM. We gotta find ACCM. He just played a game. But elo mismatch. We saw he gets +2. And now we gotta find him. What is it with Koreans that make them the only choice? So if you remember last time we saw Red Bull, there were lots of Byzantines mirrors. And it's because without a Dark Age to really plan your strategies, or go for different strategies, like we saw in King of the Desert, where Viper could do all that Phosphoro stuff, and we had all this variety, Empire Wars really forces you immediately to pump out Feudal Age army, and the cheapest way to do that is to make skirms. There are scouts openings, of course, but by far, getting the skirms out from Byzantines with their discount last time was the meta. This time we're seeing Koreans a lot more, and it's because not just do they have cheap skirms and the free armor for the skirms, they also have the Fire Lancer. And because the Fire Lancer was added to the game, given to the Chinese, but the Chinese lost camels, so they lost something when they got Fire Lancers. The Koreans just got Fire Lancers, same with the Vietnamese. And we've seen Vietnamese, for some reason, their archery range HP bonus applies to the Fire Lancers. For Koreans, their wood discount applies to the Fire Lancers. So not only do they have the replication of the Byzantine skirm bonus, but now they have probably one of the strongest units in the game in the Fire Lancer, and we've seen it win in so many different situations. We had the Siege Tower problem before, but even without the Siege Towers, we still see Fire Lancers. And then late game, they have an incredible late game for their towers and their bombard cannon, and the ability just to go Elite Fire Lancer now. So we've seen a lot of keep bombard cannon, Elite Fire Lancer. And it's every age they have a really strong army composition. And they don't have the best eco, but their wood discount is essentially their eco bonus. And if you're pumping tons of skirms into tons of Fire Lancers, you're getting a good bonus. Okay, Paganini against Kingstone. I'm waiting for ACCM. I know there are other games going on. I'm gonna wait for ACCM. I want to find him. Yeah, so we have another Force Pick Koreans meta Karsts game between Tato and Yo. If we see something that's not Koreans, we'll cast that. Viper Force Pick Koreans against Burgundians on Volpine against Sebastian. Look at these Force Pickers. Viper Sebastian. They're also 10 minutes in. I want to give ACCM a chance. I want to give ACCM a chance. I don't want to miss him. Yes, missed. You can go to the YouTube VOD and you can rewind. You can go to the YouTube VOD and rewind. That's probably the way to go. Yeah, we're in the ACCM waiting room right now. I don't want to commit to another match and then ACCM queues up. And we're gonna wait for him. We're not gonna miss out on some ACCM action. Can we do Yo Tato? I'm gonna give ACCM another minute or so. Not gonna queue until Hera's in a game. Is Hera around? I don't see Hera around. Is he streaming? I mean, this game, he got 2 points from the game, right? I can't imagine 2 points are gonna satiate ACCM. I mean, he's not gonna be matched against a strong player now, right? We see Tato, Yo, Sebastian, Viper, they're all in game. He might be matched against Hart. I don't know where Hart is either. I would hope for ACCM versus Hart right now. T90 called his command rankings. Everyone came up with a different name. Yeah, he just had a game versus a 1300. You're from the same team. Yeah, I mean, that is also kind of awkward, right? That they this is based on their highest. As long as they just play and play against each other and they're so high, they'll probably trade points and get all 3 of them to the top. That's what I was thinking now. The best way to take points is to take it from people who are above you. And even if Hera occasionally loses games, if you and someone else just play points and trade points, you're both going to kind of rise slightly. And you just need to peak the elo. And if they're playing against each other, that does make it kind of weird. Okay, we got Kingstone in a game. Yeah, 34 win streak. 34 win streak. Nice sweater. Oh, thank you. Yeah, as I said, I cast with the heat off, so I have to stay warm. Who did Hera lose to? Probably Leary or Hart. I didn't see when he last played. Oh, that was only an hour ago? Maybe Hart then. Looks like Hart has a good streak and he gained some points recently. Or Vinch. Oh, you know what? Wait, I can check this. I have the power to check this. I can click on his name and check it. Oh, this does show up. Nice. A bit cut off, but can I... Yeah, he lost to Vinch earlier. He lost to Vinchester. And to get that window moved over. Okay, maybe ACCM isn't queuing then. Maybe we won't get the thrill of watching ACCM. Maybe we could jump into Sebastian Viper. Looks like other people are casting that though. Yeah, everyone's casting that. Maybe we do Tato Yo then. It's another Korean's mirror though. Come on, ACCM, save us. Okay, we'll jump into Tato Yo, but if we see ACCM, we're abandoning ship. Vivi Kaspa? I'd rather cast games that have a bit more higher level in the final weekend because this is where the standings really matter. Alright, so Tato Yo, Tato getting with the scout, coming around with some archers. Tato will be blue, Yo will be red. I almost always see Yo playing in red, so I think these colors make the most sense to me. Although both these players I usually see as red. I don't know, Tato blue maybe makes sense. Green toggling Xander. If I queue, then maybe ACCM is brave enough. How's my day been so far? My day has been... I didn't sleep as well as I should have, but I finally did sleep, and now I'm up, I got my coffee, and I'm ready to cast the mage. I figured I'll cast for a couple hours, take a lunch break, and then cast more in the evening. And okay, so Koreans, who's ready for Fire Lancers? Fire Lancers say, Skirm Mirror. Nah, we're the mirror unit now. We're the mirror unit now. Am I from Germany? I'm not, but I've lived in Germany before. barracks here from Yo. He wants more Fire Lancers. Tata wants more Fire Lancers. Both of these players, going to be tough for them to be in the top 4 now. But pushing to climb in the standings still. Premier, what a unique matchup. Never seen that before. I'm an honorary German.
준비 대기. 준비.
Hey, I did manage to find my way when my train in Hamburg was cancelled to follow all of the signs in German, to take another train to a train station 30 minutes away and get on the ICE train to Berlin.
저요?
대기.
So I've figured it out.
예?
Could you go Expo plus Skirms versus Lancer Skirms? From what I've seen, Expo plus Skirms doesn't really work against Lancer Skirms, because you could add in Siege against Expo Skirms, and the Fire Lancers themselves do a much better job of countering Mangonels and Scorpions as a melee unit where they can close the distance and to destroy the Siege. And if your Siege is simply protected by Skirms, even if you have some Expos mixed in, the Fire Lancers usually still run it down. And they also have pretty decent Pierce armor too. Right, they start with a base of 0, but then you could do both Blacksmith upgrades for +2, and then you can do Gambesons for +3, and then you can get 3 Pierce armor on them,
준비.
which is fairly decent. You still have Deutsche Bahn induced PTSD. I am sorry. I did learn that most Deutsche Bahn
예.
train platforms do include Wi-Fi, so as an American who doesn't get cell service
준비.
in Europe, that was very useful for me. Or I do get cell service, but if I use it, it's like $12 a day.
준비.
So I tried to refrain. Castle Age longswords could be interesting, but then you go crossbow, right? Because you have the discounted crossbow, and I think it's hard to go for a food unit or a food and gold unit against the wood units when the wood units have a discount in the Castle Age. We have seen champions work late game, but that's when you have your full eco established and you're in a position where you can pump out the champions and make the switch. I don't know if Castle Age longswords would be efficient enough to deal with this composition. Yeah, maybe I should get a prepaid SIM card. I'll need to figure out what it's like in the UK, because I would like to do some IRL streams. It would be cool to be in the audience at the Royal Albert Hall and do a stream. I tried that last time at Red Bull, but unfortunately, the castle did not have reliable either Wi-Fi or cell service for me to be able to stream. Wasn't designed with that in mind. Is Sunday? Yep, it ends around 17 GMT on Sunday. Can you believe that the Spanish castle was not designed with Wi-Fi? That's what they get. That's how they get their 20% faster construction bonus. They cut corners and they didn't include Wi-Fi properly in their castle design. That's why it's built so fast.
예. 대기. 준비. 예. 대기.
So, tower here, and Koreans have a big tower war, but castle comes up for Tato. That'll help to clean one of the towers. Did it have murder holes at least?
예.
Not that I saw. We were garrisoned inside, so maybe it was hard to tell though.
준비.
Is it 30%?
예.
I thought it was 20%. Maybe it's 30%.
준비.
It's not as fast as Sicilians or the old Koreans' fortification bonus, but it applies to everything. Yeah, so Tato looking to push out. He does have 12 more vills and does have a bigger eco, but more Fire Lancers and so far more map control for Yo.
예. 준비.
On this map, sometimes the map control matters more than the immediate res collected because there are so many resources spread out that as you transition to Imp, if you have more Fire Lancers and more towers scattered about, it's harder for the player who is stuck in one area booming to expand. You hate when you put one stone on the ground and it breaks and you lose all the other 650 stone? Is the Royal Albert Hall known for its streaming? I mean, I don't... Whatever their official broadcasts are, I doubt they routinely have audience members streaming. I don't know, maybe the thinking these days is, hey, let's make sure we have proper Wi-Fi or a cell service for our guests so they can post on social media while they're here and promote our events. Which, I mean, might be a reasonable way of thinking if you're running an event venue. But again, something that was built for the age of Wi-Fi, and I know nothing about it. Maybe they have perfect Wi-Fi, maybe they don't. We will see. %30% reduced to 20% for wonders. Okay, it is 30% then. Okay. Is treadmill crane 20% then? Yeah, and Spanish then is better than treadmill crane aside from the wonders. Got it. Yeah. My rent fee experience was absolutely fine when I was in Spain. It was a bit tricky figuring out how to navigate from the airport in Madrid to the main train station. I had to do a transfer at some point, but I kind of figured it out. The Imperial Age on the way for Tato. The monk converts, he converts the entire tile like AoE 4. Oh, let's not put more AoE 4 stuff into the game. Had enough horrors. Oh, what is this? What is this? Tato, he's going forward, probably for a tower. Yeah, doesn't have the stone for a castle. Or no, he says, I see a bear, I'm gonna go back. Oh no, I'm gonna abandon my friend to the bear. You can do it, Vil, you got a big knife, you got muscles, you can take that bear. You got Loom, of course. And there we go, Vil wins. And these Fire Lancers getting a bit trapped in the corner. Yo up to Imp, up first, and with the initiative then the Trebor. Gambesons doesn't affect the Spear Line? No, but it does affect the Fire Lancers. Because why do texts that specifically affect other things also affect Fire Lancers? Because they added the word and Fire Lancers to a bunch of stuff. So Fire Lancers will get one more Pierce Armor. They get a total of 6 with Gambesons when they get all of the Blacksmith upgrades. Their Elite upgrade gives them 1 base Pierce Armor. And then Blacksmith text plus 4 total. Gambesons plus 1 for a total of 6. Should not help them. Same way the Vietnamese Archer bonus for HP should not help them. Or the Jurchen mounted unit bonus should not help them. Of all the bonuses, the Korean wood discount is the only one that actually, based on the description, makes sense without adding the word and Fire Lancer. That's a lot of weak Fire Lancers from Tato. They look like they're gonna go down. And in the Treb War, Yo's still with the initiative, getting a second Treb deployed. And you can, of course, get Bombard Cannon in the matchup too. Yo doesn't have chemistry, though. Hasn't clicked it. Going for 2-man saw and gold shaft mining, though, focusing on the eco-techs. You've seen musicals there and had to shut your phone off. I can imagine shutting your phone off for musicals, but this is, I think, a very pro-phone event. People to make posts and whatnot. Yeah, Fire Lancer's melee damage. That's what I was saying earlier about countering the Mangonel line. Melee damage, and especially with their charge attack, they can close the distance and take out Mangonels very well. Is Relic Gold? I believe so, yes. You also have your independent relic column. And okay, who likes patrol stacking? Who likes patrol stacking? Because here we are. How many units are there? Oh, the deer is deciding I want a patrol stack too. The boar wants to patrol stack too. Everything patrol stacking, even the corpses patrol stacking. And the villas say, no, we want to get in on this patrol stack. Let's build a tower. Let's build a tower. PKE 100 units in a single tile. Oh, what have they done to the pathing? What I really need is Lord Bassa to finish the Shadows of Calvaria, so I have an excuse to go play a custom scenario on the user patch again and play with good pathfinding. I miss that pathfinding. So this Treb also melting to Fire Lancers. And some Fire Lancers want to go for the other Treb. And Yo making a sacrifice of Lancers to destroy Treb. Tato, can he repair? Can he repair? Ooh, that Treb turned back into the Fire Lancers. They're trying to surround it. The other Treb survives, and this one 9 HP, and all the Fire Lancers go down. The repairs from Tato in time, saving the Treb. And Tato also pushing out in the east, pushing through the workshop. And okay, so after the initiative going for Imp, Yo didn't commit too heavily to the Treb War, and I guess that's part of the Koreans matchup. If you commit too heavily to an early Treb War, Fire Lancers might destroy your Trebs. So, didn't commit to it. Tato keeps his castle up, Yo loses the forward castle. And Yo might still have more map control, but Tato's making some progress building towers everywhere. Save, watching 120 blue and red Fire Lancers all patrol into each other is absurd.
저요? 준비.
The funny thing is, we even removed absurdity because of the siege tower. So keep here from Yo.
Piggy.
Treb hitting the tower, but missing. Remember, Treb's only 80% accuracy against buildings, and towers are skinny enough that the shots can miss. Oh, JavaScript is terrible. Is it really not worthwhile adding some ARBs or something here? I've not seen ARBs in the Korean mirrors, and I think that's, one, because of the towers. ARBs don't really hold up to tower fire that much. They have at most 4 Pierce Armor with the Blacksmith upgrades, whereas the Fire Lancers have 6 Pierce Armor and significantly more HP. And then ARBs also invite the Skirmisher swap. Same thing with Hand Cannoneers. You'd think, oh, Hand Cannoneers, probably they counter the Fire Lancers. But all the towers and the ability to add skirms kinda stops that. The one thing I have seen succeed is a Champion swap. Champions have worked several times. Champions, again, a bit more HP, and I think they get, do they get 5 or 6 Pierce Armor in total with Gambesons? I think they have a base of 1 with all their upgrades, so I think it's the same 6 Pierce Armor. Not quite the HP, but yeah, because, I mean, that's a good thought, right? Oh, Koreans, they have cheap ARBs with the wood discount. Why not add a bunch of ARBs? But from what I've seen, it has been all Fire Lancers, and I'm sure these players have done tons of practice games with this situation, adding in different unit compositions. And with all the hundreds, if not thousands, of high-level Korean mirrors we've undoubtedly seen on this ladder, with top players having played several hundred games each by now. I think wagons would be strong in Imp and Mirror. Oh, the thing is that Fire Lancers have an attack bonus against cavalry, plus 15 against cav for the elite Fire Lancers. So I'm not even sure that War Wagons beat Lancers because of that attack bonus. It's if you ever see War Wagon versus Camel, that's an interesting matchup too, because of the high attack bonus the Camels have. If they close the distance, they do well against the War Wagons. Yeah, in some sense, I guess the towers fulfill the role of the ARBs, right? Because here, this is a fight where Yo could have ARBs in the back, but Tato really couldn't because of the tower range. So maybe it depends on how you and where and how you're taking the fights. I think there's also the fact that if you're going to invest into Arbalests, you need to research crossbow and Arbalest and Thumbring, which so far you're saving resources not doing any of that, and you're just going for Fire Lancers.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe you do want Thumbring slightly for skirms, but it just makes them from 90 to 100% accuracy. It doesn't have a big effect on skirms. The trip for Yo going down. Lancers push forward from Tato. purely War Wagon versus Skirm, the War Wagons have 150 HP, and then even more for Elite. I forget what the Elite value is. But the fact that they also have the free Pierce armor, and a really high base attack that they still do decent damage to Skirms, even when the Skirms have all their armor upgrades, means that War Wagons against Skirms can still be okay. And that's more of an it depends thing. Kind of like War Elephant versus Halb can still be okay if the numbers match up right, or the production matches up. I actually prefer the Siege Tower existing to all the Fire Lancer armies. But we'll see. I wonder if we'll have any TTL matches soon, because I'd really like to cast the TTL and see if our Siege Tower nerfs affect anything. As our plan was allow it with lower garrison capacity and less HP. We'll see how that works. So Fire Lancers from Tato coming forward to melt Yo's Trebs. And remember, there is a 75-minute time limit. And has there been an ACCM sighting in the meanwhile? Has there been an ACCM sighting? I need you to keep an eye on this for me. Keep an eye on ACCM. He's probably sleeping now. It's, what, 11:30 p.m. for him? He's asleep? Yeah, he's asleep. He 2 points before bed. He'll sleep well. So keep coming up for Yo. Architecture and conscription on the way for no conscription yet. Oh dang. That is a late conscription. Yes, Dark Noob, it is just a Fire Lancer mirror. Nowadays, without featuring the Siege Tower we had seen in the past. Fire Lancer and Keeps. Not even Bombard Tower, just Keeps. Keeps with extra range, the best Keeps in the game, I think. It is 11:30 a.m. for me. And that's how I played a 2v2 with ACCM years ago when we were exactly 12 hours apart. Scheduling was a nightmare. Sounds really fun. Well, at the very least, it means we don't get a Skirm war. Koreans and Vietnamese mirrors are no longer Skirm wars because of the Fire Lancer. You love Skirm wars. There's a keep going up for Yo. Don't understand why I gotta be a negative Nancy about Skirms. What, Dark Noob, you want more Skirms? Well, and more patrol stacking on this hill. That went well for Yo. Yo gonna take out this castle. Yo closing the score difference. Has collected actually more for Yo, and feels like Yo still has more map control. He does have one relic of an advantage. Still waiting for someone to do that champion swap. Yo floating a ton of res. And maybe Yo's gonna pull this off. He's destroying a castle, destroying more siege, and he's taking a score lead. All of a sudden, Yo takes the score lead. Let Treb go down. 24 HP left. Yeah, gates from Tato, not enough though. And Yo continues adding towers everywhere. Oh my gosh, look at those Fire Lancers. Oh, look at that production getting to 200 pop again. Also, these things, when they get Arson, Greens do miss the final attack upgrade, but 10+2 with +3 against buildings. So they can take down the barracks pretty well. 1,000 wood for 170 gold. That's the exchange rate. Yeah, now the question is, how much gold does Tato have? It says he has 35 bills. Oh my god, patrol stack. Oh my doubt. We're gonna have a good patrol stack here. Oh, look at this majesty. And Lucasif, thank you very much for the follow. Oh, patrols stacking. Oh my gosh, look at them go. Take a guess, chat. How many Fire Lancers are here? Let's check. 18 Fire Lancers for Yo. Now, stand ground patrol always was a basic way of moving units, but never behaved like this. Oh my gosh. You might have seen something you hate more than Skirmore. And oh, there's a cannon. There's a GG from Tato. Oh, what was that? That's I was hoping ACSM would play a game and save us from a Korean's Mirror. At least maybe you could have a storyline to save the game. Ah. And oh, okay, you know what? We're gonna have something that's not a Korean's Mirror. We will have Yo Tato on Thames. And this will be non-mirrored. Alright. It'll be Catans for Yo and Aztecs for Tato. Catans Aztecs? This should be an easy win for the Catans, right? What do Aztecs do against Catans? Catan Light Cav with extra attack probably beats Eagles even without bloodlines. Then what do Aztecs do? Pikemen? They're not gonna go monks against Light Cav. Not gonna go Jaguar Warriors against Light Cav. There's not gonna be a second ladder qualifier, no. It's going to be a 1v1 bracket. This is going to be a 128 player 1v1 bracket where you get to the top 4 and you qualify. And the ladder works by seeds 5 through 8 get seeded in the finals, so they're already in the top 8 and only need to win one set. Then seeds 9 through 12 get placed in the semifinals. And we're going to stick with Tato and Yo because this is a non-mirrored matchup. Colors. All right, so we will have Tato here as the blue, or no, we will have Yo here as the red Catans to the west, and Tato as the blue Aztecs to the east. And Tato will here have a bunch of hares at the front of his TC, as some bills come over looking to hunt the hares. And we'll have an archery range up for Tato, but oh my gosh, Tato's gonna ungarrison and get vills right in this little wood line area, isn't he? If I can click the trees, yeah, right there. He's gonna get archers right in there. 10 Korean CAs with some good micro could counter a Fire Lancer ball. Fire Lancers have plus 15 attack against, or elite Fire Lancers, plus 15 against the Cav Archers. Maybe in the Castle Age, but long term I don't think so. And very professional, thank you. Sunflower 14, thank you for the follow. XIV, that's 14 in Roman numerals, right? Thank you for the follow. Now, if you want me to look even more professional, you can always sub to make progress towards our chicken cosplay goal.
Timo.
CAs don't outrange them and shoot back. Well, the Fire Lancers can sit under towers then, right? Remember, Koreans have towers. And you're going guard tower with the Fire Lancer for the most part, and the Castle Agent keeps an imp. So your Cav Archers then have to deal with all that arrow fire from the towers, which significantly is Korean, significantly outranges the Cav Archers. And then Koreans don't have bloodlines. And oh, what did I say? What did I say? 2 archers for Tato right here. Right in that. Oh no, Tato, not like this, not like this. The map scripts are supposed to be bugged like this, not your own buildings. The one stream that does not keep on loading. Is Twitch having problems? Hey, remember, we're also streaming on YouTube. Yeah, they're safe from the scout. Re-garrison back into their production buildings. Yeah, that's something I would never change about AoE 2. I honestly love that decision from a game design perspective. You can keep them garrisoned, but once they're out, they're out. It makes absolutely no sense from a realism perspective that you can't re-enter the building, but from a game perspective, it's a lot of fun. Bugged map due to user error. Yeah. I think Mem's streaming in 4K on Twitch, right? And he's still in the beta, so that might be just a weird thing where sometimes the beta 4K might mess up. I did finally fix my YouTube issues, but I had to sacrifice not streaming in 4K. Yeah, it is frustrating when the game spawns them like that. But also, you know, it is your own fault for putting the archery range there. It does matter a lot on Empire Wars, though, right? He's Aztecs, and I feel that against C'tans, he has to do damage before the scout numbers come out, and his first 2 archers getting trapped means his damage comes in so much later. So spears and archers, imagine he had 5 archers instead of 4, or instead of 3. 3 instead of the full university. Ooh, does anyone else have the full university? Byzantines, I guess, don't have masonry and architecture, but they do have more HP by default. Huns have the worst university, I think. Yeah, Aztecs miss masonry and architecture too, but they just don't have HP upgrades. Okay, here come the C'tan scouts. They have forging, double forging, and these spears will die. They will die easily. Tato, and he even had armor on the spears. Spears come forward, poke the scouts. That's a lot of spears that have all died to scouts. Remember when spears countered scouts? The C'tans don't remember that. They weren't in the game then. Monks popping in and out of TCs. Yeah. I always did have the suggestion that monks should not regain their monk juice while they're garrisoned. That they should have to be exposed and outside to get it back.
Timo.
Troll Michael stacks all on a single tile, so a single siege unit can do a lot of damage. Well, that's true, but the problem is Fire Lancers are a melee unit, and they pick off the rocket carts from the Koreans, or the mangonels, or whatever they have these days. It's a rocket cart. So Vil goes down, and okay, Tato getting some damage in. He'll get a second villager. He's going full Aztec spearmen, using that barracks production bonus. And he's up to the Castle Age first. Yo probably has no problems staying Castle Age, pumping triple stable C'tan scouts with pastors and adding in a watchtower. Dang. And remember, this is triple stables when the stables already work faster. Train and upgrade 25% faster. Give the C'tans a Hun ally for even faster stables, why don't you? Scouts going for the houses. You know, here's something I hadn't thought of before. Does the bonus of the Chinese team bonus giving extra food to farms, does that apply to pastures? I hadn't thought about that before, because they're not farms. So maybe it doesn't, but then they also are basically farms, so maybe it does. I'll need to check that. How are plus and minus points worked out for wins and losses? Let me give you the exact explanation. I should add a command for this. Remind me to add a command for this. If you like math, that's the algorithm for figuring it out. That's how ELO's calculated. Oh, it will be exclamation mark ELO. That's what I'll call it. And then you'll be able to read the explanation. And you can plug into that very quick calculator I hacked together, input the ratings, and figure out how it would change. What is this, a chess stream? You can check out Bean Dip, she streams chess. One day I'll have to play Lego chess on stream. That's how I learned to play chess when I was a kid. You had this Elvis impersonating king who taught you how to play chess. And when the units captured each other, you had this Looney Tunes styled cartoon of the units capturing each other. What's Lego chess? My childhood. Oh, another crossbow spawned there. 3 crossbows trapped. They're defending that wood line. You got some Lorax crossbows there defending the trees. Spear is fending scouts away. Second TC for Tato. I still don't know what Aztecs do long term. Maybe just lots and lots of pikemen. Am I a good chess player? I have not played chess since I was a child. So I would definitely not say I'm a good chess player. Scouts go down to crossbows. I mean, crossbows go down to scouts. I said that backwards. Crossbows slaughtered. Yo can literally stay feudal and pump 3-4 stable scouts, and I don't think the Aztecs can do anything. I don't think they can do anything at all. They had steppe lancers or knights or anything, or camels, or a good unique unit. Maybe they could do something, but I think they're just hopeless here. Tato will try to get a 3rd TC. He'll try to maybe get a monastery in the north, sending the Vils up to take the Royal Albert Hall. Get some extra pop space, add in a monastery and grab relics. Gotta get through the front gate. But Yo now up. He will have 4 stables continually pumping light cav. Are the American civs still good? I think they're very matchup dependent. But I think the Khitans slaughter Aztecs. We have, interestingly enough, seen Jaguar warriors from the Aztecs do well against Koreans. I've seen a couple of games where the Aztecs managed to win from Jaguar warriors. Alright, Yo, 30 seconds. He really would like to wait for light cav because they upgrade faster, and iron casting because he gets double the bonus from it. Truly hate mesocivs on any map because I can't play with them. Killing a few pastures is nice damage. It is, but also the pastures have a lot of food already taken from them, right? So maybe they would be rebuilt soon anyway. Like this one, they're almost finished. So pikemen, but iron casting, husbandry, light cav, and we're gonna have a big fight here. Yo is just biding his time. He's like, Tato, I know you can't do anything here. I'm gonna do a stone gate. And it's light cav time. Looks like a forward workshop is going up. And you can delete the houses to fight him if he wants to. Try and get a patrol stack in. And here are Khitans being Khitans. Tato tries to snipe Vils, but what does he have? 9 Vil lead. There goes the military. Goodbye, army. Khitan light cav are crazy. Now see how pros like them. Lack of scouts is so painful. Yeah, they've fallen off significantly since their AOC days. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Yo is thinking I'll transport ship into Tato's base, but Tato actually is wall away from the river, so he's defended from that. Yo might have just done the transport for the workshop. Rocket cart time. Yo would clean that up too. And now, oh, now he can do steppe lancers. Now he can do not just scouts, but steppe lancers with double attack. See, same HP. 1 less pierce armor, but more attack and range, so. Steppe time, steppe lancer time. Oh my gosh, like we've been all dying. Rocket cart down. Crossbow's going down. Everything they're dying. Ah, man. Well, now scorpions will come out for Yo. Scorpion time. Oh yeah, also, if this wasn't enough, y'all know how a lot of people usually make cav archers against the American civs? Well, Catans also have heavy cav archer available in the Castle Age and minus 50%. And the only thing their cav archers will miss will be bloodlines, which if you're fighting melee units doesn't matter because you're not getting hit anyway. So yeah, Catan's good against Aztecs. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Tato, he's trying to chop through and free his crossbows. At least the crossbows are protected from the Steppe Lancers, but not from the Scorpions, not from the rocket cart. No way. Who released the Civ? No, the Wu have the Gen Swordsman. The Wu are a different Civ. Okay, there. That was a good fight for Tato. That was better than I thought. Honestly, I'm surprised Yo was so far down. Tato, I'm surprised the Pikeman did that well. So far, maybe things actually are turning around for Tato. Maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe Yo is too focused on Cav and didn't have enough Scorpions out. Tato, he's almost gonna free his crossbows. I'm buying DLC right now. We complain about Catans while seeing them losing. That's true, that's true. Yo is staying on 1 TC, just adding his second. And Tato is the Aztecs with relics now. And oh, whoa, what? What is this campaign base? Oh, what the heck? Did you see that monk yeet the relic across the forage bushes? That's another problem with monks. They drop relics and they go tiles away. They tend to go to the left instead of the right. Can someone actually clip that for me? Yeah, someone clip that for me. I want to send this wreck in. I'm gonna tag Nilly and tell him that's a pathing error. So Tato breaking through. Again, I don't like this from Tato. I don't think he has the numbers to take this fight. He's gonna try to get the hill. And he is up by 20 vills, but this should be a good fight for Yo, I'd imagine. He patrols in, kills the pikemen, patrols in, kills the crossbows. Yeah, down goes everything from Tato. Yeah, Monk with the shot put record. I feel a video coming on. Why the heck would that ever be held for review, YouTube? How is the comment, I feel a video coming on, held for review? Obi Monk. You love the 50% step, 50% light cap. It's like patrol stacking before it existed. Oh, MBL ACCM now. MBL ACCM, oh my gosh. So, someone win this game. I want to go do MBL ACCM. We haven't, people were telling me ACCM was sleeping. Oh gosh, are you... Chat, would you guys be okay if I abandoned this game for ACCM and MBL? Ooh, does chat want that? ACCM is still unbeaten. Do it? Okay, chat, we're doing it. We are doing it. We're going ACCM. We're going ACCM. Yeah, I'm sorry, Tato. I'm sorry, Yo, but we got ACCM coming on. Alright, let's go. We're doing it. We're doing it. I'm loading in ACCM, MBL. ACCM even picked cyan, the best color. Oh my gosh. ACCM, MBL, and it's on Karsts. Koreans Goths, so we're even gonna have... Yes. Alright, we're going ACCM. If ACCM wins, he gets top 4 back. Alright, so ACCM, he's on a 34 win streak, and he will be playing against MBL. I don't like leaving games, but for this instance, I think we got to do it. ACCM, he's on 34 wins in a row. And MBL will be Goths as potentially an attempt to counter the Koreans. So we'll do picks. And what is that? We have MBL force pick Goths, ACCM force picked Koreans. So this is Goths as an attempt to counter Koreans. MBL are volunteer to try to end ACCM's win streak. Yeah, we did decide earlier we ditch anything for ACCM. That was a good game too, but this is ACCM we're talking about. Our Huskarls versus Fire Lancers. Huskarls, remember, Huskarls versus Fire Lancers were from the Cartographers in that final game of, was it Hera in Doubt against Yo and Lix, where they went Fire Lancers and countered the Huskarls, and the Fire Lancers wrecked the Huskarls. I imagine the only thing MBL can do here would be the champion, the swordsman line. But then Koreans have towers and arbs and hand cannoneers. ACCM finally loses, we want to see. I know if ACCM wins though, we want to see that too. I want to see the win streak continue. And Pig AoE, thank you for the follow. Change title to found you. Yeah, MBL picked Goths. MBL picked Goths as an attempt to counter the Koreans. So, is this open? No, it's not open. MBL full walled with palisades. ACCM will come forward, but Karsts usually is a boom map. Karsts is a map where players are pretty far apart, and with fairly large wood lines, usually have an easy wall with a close gold. So MBL will come around the back of ACCM's army and try to clean it up. So a bit more feudal military investment from MBL than perhaps ACCM was expecting there. He'll lose his army, and good start from MBL clearing that. Yeah, people keep trying to snipe ACCM, but it doesn't work. Does Huskarl win or Fire Lancer? I think the Fire Lancer wins, Darkening, but I think the Fire Lancer wins. Costume should be more outrageous. You don't think a chicken costume's outrageous enough? ACCM being on a 34 win streak and still not top 5? He's been playing 1 or 2 games a day. The thing about ACCM's win streak is now that he's pretty high up, when he gets matched with someone, usually he gets a lot of points from winning. So he just needs to win 1 game. He'll drop out of the top 4, win 1 game, and be back in the top 4 again. And putting aside the fact he got matched with a 1301 2 points earlier, he's been getting games against Hart, Hera, Potch, and some pretty good players recently. Huskarls have a shock infantry damage bonus. They should counter pretty much all Koreans can do. That does not match my experience of seeing the Fire Lancers against them. So Korean skirms. Or actually, no, wait, that's MBL with skirms against the Korean archers. And ACCM losing his archers, but he will be up first. And I wonder if MBL will try to be aggressive here. It looks like he will have some map control. But ACCM simply can add in skirms now. And that'll force MBL back to the great skirm discount that the Koreans have. Yeah, I'll have everyone spam your ACCM emotes. Hello, Humble Jelly. Now, on Voobly Pro, thank you for the follow. Man, years ago, I won a noob arena tournament. Or was it an arena tournament? It was either that or it was I came in second in one of Tato's African Kingdoms tournaments. And I got Voobly Silver as a prize. So Bodkin, Bowsaw on the way. ACCM looking to boom. He will add in an extra 2 TCs. So how will MBL react? MBL throwing down a defensive workshop, while also adding in 2 more TCs, and we'll see if the workshop ends up slowing his boom if he tries to add siege to defend now. Interesting choice for the workshop when he has a good army out already. But Bowsaw, Bodkin, Wheelbarrow all on the way for ACCM. But yeah, I want a noob tournament. I remember, I think I finished second to Soxy in one of Tato's African Kingdoms tournaments. I remember I did win Ruby Silver as a prize, though. So we'll have Bowsaw and Wheelbarrow on the way for MBL. And he's booming up. He's booming up, trying to chase ACCM away. Even as the Goths, MBL makes skirms. What did Voobly Silver do? I have no idea. I genuinely do not know.
예?
Repair or more house walling from ACCM. Not taking stone yet. Pick your friends list. Oh, Dave knows. Dave knows. Dave's here. Dave is like, I could feel ACCM playing. Yeah, Dave, I don't know if you saw earlier. ACCM got matched with someone who was 1300 on the Empire Wars ladder, and he gained 2 points, but he extended the win streak to 34. MBL going over to stone. With the Mangonel out. And we're still wondering what the Goths do against Fire Lancers and how effective Huskarls will be, because my experience is Huskarls lose to Fire Lancers. Goths do have gunpowder, but I think if in the Koreans mirror we don't see hand cannoneers, we're probably not going to see them be effective with all the towers that come out late game. Yeah, the game last night was great. I'll watch that. If MBL, I don't know if MBL was just playing, if he was looking for ACCM, but he found ACCM. A Huskarl champion. We have seen champions in the Koreans mirror, which is what I'm thinking. Maybe MBL goes pure for the swordsman line, but then maybe ACCM doesn't have to go Fire Lancer. Maybe he could go hand cannoneer keep, and we see him opening right now for Cav archers. Few feudal archers still hoovering around for MBL. That bear sitting just outside the range where it would attack those archers. That bear is getting hungry. It's looking at the four of them. They're like, if we don't move, maybe he won't attack us. Just stand still. And defensive Mangonel for MBL. ACCM says, I've won 34 games in a row. I don't need to micro against the Mangonel. There we go. Now he'll run away as MBL brings the skirms over. Handcart for MBL. 4th TC for both of them. MBL are pretty far ahead in eco upgrades. Heavy plow on the way. The Goth hunt bonus on Karsts actually is pretty nice if you start luring in some extra boars. There are more boars around the map. Usually they don't really benefit from that bonus in Empire Wars. I don't think they're a great Empire Wars civ because of the lack of the Dark Age bonuses in the game mode, but I mean, we did see one game from the Goths on Thames where they got up to 235 population. I'm still wondering what he's gonna do, and if it will be Huskarls or the swordsman line. Mangonel fending off the Cav archers. And gold shaft mining. Gold shaft mining before even heavy plow or handcart. Do not let Goths boom. That is true, the Goths are booming. And then, I don't know, I've seen players try to be aggressive on this map. I've seen some things with conquistadors and castle drops, and it's never worked out. You're so far apart, and I think it's really difficult to stop someone from booming. But maybe ACCM has decided, you know what, Goths, you've boomed enough. I'm gonna go drop a castle right on your face. And he has to be careful about the Mangonels. MBL will have his own defensive castle. And so far, res collected pretty similar, but MBL looking like he's gonna click Imp soon. And maybe he'll have an advantage in a Treb fight. With Huskarls, you certainly can run underneath Castle Fire and snipe off Trebs. I guess you could say the same for Fire Lancers. And MBL sees the castle. Does ACCM see the Mangonel? Does ACCM see the Mangonel? No, he doesn't. There's the Mangonel shot. He only has 7 vills. One of them dies instantly. And he's gonna have to run away. He'll have to run away here. Oh, that castle's not gonna go up. And he might lose the rocket cart to a Mangonel shot. ACCM, things falling apart for him. MBL not clicking Imp yet, but denying the forward castle. ACCM will go back more towards the center of the map. The Fire Lancers. Fire Lancer versus Huskarl. This is what we wanted to see. But I think the Fire Lancers clear that. What's the 8? Oh, I can't. It died so fast I didn't even see the HP. 60 HP on the Huskarl against, what, 65 for the Fire Lancer. Fire Lancers also have melee armor. Wait, does MBL have Squires? Okay, he doesn't have Squires yet. Okay. I was gonna say, if MBL doesn't have Squires, the Fire Lancers are actually faster. You're just trying to add some suspense? Just trying to add some suspense, maybe? Ooh, those Fire Lancers tanking a Mangonel shot. And what is this? 5 TCs, and a market as MBL clicks up to Imp. MBL up to Imp. That's a good point, too. The Huskarls do cost food. They cost food, so Fire Lancers, only wood and gold, probably are cost efficient in the fights, at least in the Castle Age. Late game, when you have all your farms up and you have your food eco established, then it's probably cheaper to go Huskarls. Oh, okay, no siege tower, so it's ram time. Rams for ACCM, and MBL, I don't see any Man-at-Arms upgrades or any Swordsman upgrades from him, so it looks like he's gonna stick with Huskarls. ACCM dead? You think he's dead? You're calling it this early when he has a score lead? The score lead, though, is because MBL has clicked up to Imp. MBL up to Imp. And that's speedy ram now. 0.85. Only, it's like a siege tower with 1 unit garrisoned in it. That's how slow it is. And there's Imp for ACCM. He'll be about 90 seconds behind. And Res collected still pretty similar. Only 4 TCs to 5 though, but they're both kind of getting to the point where they have enough villagers. And the Mangonel though, I don't think the ram can do too much. He's going for the houses, but maybe will be adding lots of those anyway. Ban rams. If we see Fire Lancer Ram become meta, then we know we've gone too far. So, Goths booming. And we know it's scary when the Goths boom. And looks like it will be pure Huskarl for MBL. He does indeed have Anarchy, so Huskarls can be trained at the barracks. And we'll have a guard tower up for ACCM. Huskarls facing the Fire Lancers. The charge attack is pretty powerful for them here in this matchup too. And it'll be perfusion time. Perfusion. No, it'll be Treb time. Ooh, MBL going for the Treb. Is the Treb the right call here? Is the Treb the right call when Fire Lancers can destroy the Treb? Maybe if he has enough Huskarls to defend it. He'll look to raid, but ACCM stonewalling. He knows what you have to do against the Goths. That outpost may be the weak spot in the wall. But he's house-walled, he's stone-walled, has some ranges up. And if he needs to, he maybe buy a tower, do a few more keeps. Would Bombard Towers actually be useful here against the Huskarls? Maybe that could be a play for him too. And here come the Fire Lancers. Huskarls not elite yet. Iron casting on the way. Don't think MBL is going to get much here. Might get a couple of Fire Lancers. He is faster now with he has Squires. And Treb pushing back the first tower. That'll become a keep. Huskarls have enough Pierce armor though, the keeps won't do too much damage to them. So Huskarls should counter the keeps that we see so often in these matchups. But there is Elite Fire Lancer on the way. And Perfusion for MBL, who's taking a good score lead. He's taking a pretty good score lead. Conscription on the way for ACCM. More Vills coming forward. Fire Lancers on their way. And Hand Cannoneer for ACCM, well, he's not researching chemistry. And he's going for a couple of ranges, so maybe he's thinking about it, but he wants to get the Fire Lancers first. He has the production set up for that. He has the barracks. And he is at 170 pop, so he's not far from 200. And maybe Fire Lancer Hand Cannoneer would long-term be his combination. There's chemistry. There's Upsiong. So, does he have any keeps, actually? He's doing range for the towers, but he doesn't have any towers out. Oh, he's got 1 tower. And he's losing Vills trying to do other towers. We have Elite Huskarl in now. So that's 70 hit points to the... What is this? 85 hit points to the Fire Lancers? I think Fire Lancers win this. I think Fire Lancers win against the Huskarls. We're getting some patrol stacks here. Get your patrol stack going. MBL not engaging, just patrolling away. And this is a good fight for ACCM as he takes the score lead. And the Fire Lancers are destroying the Huskarls. They can cover themselves in as much gold coloring as they want with their elite upgrade, but they are not Fire Lancers. MBL still a few Huskarls getting chased around. Chemistry is about to be finished, and we'll see some hand cannoneers added to the Fire Lancers. And who wins this fight? I think, does ACCM win this? Who has the better patrol stack? He's not fighting. Honestly, it's whoever patrols the best might win the fight. And ACCM taking a good fight on that side. Actually, I think MBL took a good start to the fight. Oh wait, he's losing units as he patrols away. Well, what is this? These players need to start playing CBA to learn their patrol stacks better. Oh my... They both lose a lot of units there, but MBL comes out on top. But ACCM taking a larger score lead now. He's ahead in res collected. MBL's dropping in population. Slightly better KD for ACCM. He's adding in more keeps. Probably doesn't want to fight under the tower or under the castle. But Treb coming forward. And remember, this is a 34 win streak on the line. 34 win streak for ACCM. And now he's taking a higher and higher score lead, pushing in with Trebs. A couple of castles for MBL. Castles don't matter as much for the Goths since they have the barracks for the production. And MBL looking to raid. ACCM has to be careful not to overchop. If the Huskarls get in, he might suddenly lose 20 vills. At the same time, though, he is pushing enough Fire Lancers there that MBL can't snipe the Trebs. ACCM, he sees the Huskarls here. He's aware of them. Are they gonna go for the house? He needs to stone wall right now. ACCM, oh, we have a bit of lag. Okay, that's fine. We're good. ACCM, the laggy Huskarls fighting through the house. And there he sees it. He stonewalls. He needs to stonewall here too. I'd be afraid of those houses. And what's the wood situation looking like? He has an untouched wood line in the back. More wood over here. He's fine on wood. And the Huskarls can't find a way in. Fire Lancers coming over, and those Huskarls are doing nothing. At the same time, the Trebs are working on the castle. That castle's going down. ACCM's taking a bigger score lead. MBL thinking of taking one big engagement to try to clear the Trebs, but here are some hand cannoneers in the back. A tower on its way up. That mangonel will go down to the Bombard Tower. The Bombard Tower now for ACCM. All of the Huskarls are killed as the castle collapses. And the Fire Lancers are doing it. The Goths, they boomed, but they can't fight the Fire Lancers. ACCM has this. MBL losing everything. At the front, he can't find a way in. ACCM fully walled. He's clearing the Huskarls. And even in the north, villagers building more towers, more keeps, more bombard towers. And there's the GG from MBL. 35 wins in a row for ACCM. 35 wins in a row. The Goths boomed and it wasn't enough. Koreans OP. Look at that tech score, always ahead. Most of all, military was consistently ahead in military, even with the later imp. I've seen that a couple times from ACCM, later imps, but it doesn't matter. You can't push the Koreans with all their towers fast enough, and he does it. ACCM does it against MBL. So that is now, let's look at these standings. What is that win streak? That win streak is up to 35 wins in a row. He reclaims third place from Leary. He's now 20 points below Vinch. But this is getting competitive now. Vinch, ACCM, and Leary all at their highest elos right now. And will Hera hop on now and try to snipe ACCM? Hey, those 2 points from ACCM earlier he took from that 1300 matter. They give him a 3-point lead instead of a 1-point lead. A field goal only ties the game now. If you math out the stats, the Huskarls should win. See, Darkwind, you are thinking logically, but this is Fire Lancers. All logic goes out the window. Yeah, I do still think Champions probably would have been the better choice than Huskarls, but then the Koreans don't have to go Fire Lancers then. They can do other things. They have lots of other options. Ah, man. Well, he did it. Is he going to queue again? We got to be on ACCM watch now. MBL queued against Vivi. Something tells me ACCM's not going to queue again. It's 12 p.m. for him. He has to go to bed soon. He has to sleep and get ready for his next game in the morning. Viper Yo, they're 14 minutes into a game. Do we really want to see another Korean's mirror on Loch Ness? Viper Yo, maybe we'll see turtle ships there. We got MBL Vivi, that's a Spanish mirror on Rampart. We have all mirror matchups now. And Lanchi, thank you very much for the cheer. Thank you for the bits. And good and happy Friday. Happy Friday, Bayilo. He'll be back in about 9 hours. Let's, I've seen too many MBL Vivi Spanish mirrors. I've also seen too many Korean's mirrors. Oh, what do we want? Korean's mirror on Acclivity or Loch Ness? Let's see. Maybe we'll go cast Loch Ness. You might see some. You want to see Nessie? Okay, we'll look at Nessie. So Viper. Let me make sure Viper's yellow. Hold on. Let me make sure Viper's yellow. Viper, yo on Loch Ness. Viper will be yellow. And we'll get caught up to live time. Let me shorten Yo's name on the scoreboard. And here we go. All right, and we'll keep an eye out for ACCM. Keep an eye out in case he queues again. But the more I see that matchup, the more I think the Goths don't fight Fire Lancers at all. So they were about 14 minutes into this game, so we might just see the entire game pass us by. In a moment, we'll have TCs from Yo, who looks to have won the water. Viper, though, likes his turtle ships. We'll see if he sends some turtle ships out to the water with Nessie. And indeed he does, so docking Clint. Oh, there she is, there she is. What is the bigger monster, Nessie or the turtle ships? Even on the water maps, we're still not getting Byzantine mirrors, it's Korean mirrors. Even with the nerfed turtle ships. Oh, look at him go, look at him go. You see him taking his family out for dinner. He's gonna go play with his kids in the park. That's what I saw people saying last night. After he won against Hart, he just took his kids to the park. Mining camp going down. And docking the water is Yo, up to the Imperial Age doing War Galley. And I imagine this is fast fire. Oh, that fast fire trapped like Kato's archers. He has to delete that dock. Didn't they ban the patrol stack? They banned a very specific thing, which was patrol stacking in one area continually and building up a huge massive units in one area. The problem is just stand ground and patrol into fights is a very basic way of taking fights in AoE 2, and it has been for years. It's pretty much always one of the techniques you use for taking engagements. And it's never behaved the way it does now with units stacking as much as they do. And it's to the point where it happens so easily that it's pretty much impossible to avoid doing it with units stacking. If you patrol at all, even if they're not on stand ground, they still kind of stack. Although stand ground really makes it a bit easier, and you always have been allowed to stand ground patrol into a fight, which is still allowed. And it's something that can't realistically be banned because of how readily it happens. Even if you're not really intending to abuse the bug, it just kind of happens. And because you're allowed to do it into fights, then you can't really avoid doing it, because then you're going to be losing fights. It's something that I don't realistically think admins could make an enforcement on it, and it really has to come from pathfinding changes to the game. I don't think there's a realistic way that you could ban stand ground patrol in the current state of pathfinding. The siege towers are one thing, that's pretty clear. But stand ground patrol, I think, is a bit more... It's going to be very ambiguous as to what would count and what doesn't count if you tried to ban it. So, more Fire Lancers. Fire Lancers from Viper trying to raid Yo. Yo wanting more keeps to defend himself. Hello, Hexacatty. Everyone meowing in the chat. Yeah, there is a very specific rule about standing on one tile and continually stacking units. But with the pathfinding changes from the summer, that rule does not cover all cases where stand ground patrol is useful. As there have been changes to the way it behaves. I think T90 talked about that in his video. That it behaves differently than it did in the past, and differently than it did when that rule first was added to the World's Edge handbook. If I have time, that would be a good video. Go back to the user patch with the original game, Pathfinding, and do some standing ground patrols and show the differences. You could do some community CBA games to get some examples. And hello, Noob Netrum on YouTube. You like Loch Ness as a map favors water supremacy? My biggest question for Loch Ness is if they're casting Red Bull, how are the casters going to say the Loch Ness monster? Are they just going to have to call her Nessie every time? Because I'm pretty sure they're not allowed to say the word monster while they're casting for the Red Bull event. And they have a map featuring a monster. Okay, here we are. And see, this is an engagement where they patrol into the fight. And this is allowed by the rule because it's not a continual stack on one tile. And you can't really take fights without having your patrol/attack move go into them.
저요?
You're putting yourself at such a disadvantage if you don't do it for the fights. Yeah, because Monster's a competitor to Red Bull. It'd be like Nilly coming out and saying Surfshark versus NordVPN if they weren't owned by the same parent company. So there was the War Galley dock from Viper. That goes down. Does he have any other docks? Actually, he's trying to do War Galley again. He might not even get War Galley. Yo, with a good denial on the water. And if you look at the relics, it's 2-0 for Viper. I do really like the concept of this map with relics that on the sides that get rammed down in the monasteries pretty easily. Viper will do keeps and try to get back on the water. And I wonder if maybe Viper could think about doing some turtle ships. Can we switch to ACCM? Did ACCM get another game? If ACCM gets another game, we'll switch to ACCM. I know, I really don't like swapping games, but for ACCM, we'll do it. So Shipwright on the way for Yo. Shipwright makes your ships cost even less wood. And the Korean wood bonus is crazy. Minus 20% wood with Shipwright on top of it for an extra minus 20% wood. And I do think the Koreans are still the best late game water civ because of the wood discount and how easy it is for them to amass large numbers of ships. Now, those were my thoughts even Nations Cup when we had that years ago on Team Islands. That Koreans were amazing, and the only civ I would prefer to them would potentially be Portuguese Vitorias if you have that 4-hour game like that Austria-UK game. So Keeps here fending off the Fire Lancers. Yep, ACCM just beat MBL to extend his streak to 35. Korean Keeps go crazy on water maps. That they do. That they do. The thing about Korean Keeps is you do need to invest into Siege Engineers, which applies to Cannon Galleons now, or into Elite Cannon Galleon to extend your range beyond the 13 range of the fully upgraded Keeps. Now, Capped Ram, what's in that Ram? Oh, Fire Lancers inside the Ram. Viper thinking of fighting with Vils, but with Fire Lancers probably can't afford to take that fight. He's losing his castle to the Cannon Galleons, to the Elite Cannon Galleons. 15 range, then 16 with Siege Engineers on the way. And Viper trying to go fast fires. I don't think these work when there are so many galleons out. And there, Viper will call the GG. So even with the better KD, Yo takes the water and holds the water for the late game. I do like the map that there are some interesting things other than pure water control, but it is still that basic water map that we have. One win and you tend to snowball. It was the meta for this map with Koreans down. I mean, Koreans, I think, are meta for all maps aside from Dune Springs, which is Romans. Is there another map where you're not picking Koreans? I mean, we have, what, Acclivity, Karsts, Loch Ness, I'm forgetting all the maps. I feel like those are the only maps I see. Crownlands, Thames. No, Crownlands and Thames might be Catan's. Those might be Catan's mirrors. So let's see, what do we have now? So Viper needs his points. This is what I was worried about for Viper making such a late run, is that if he loses games to people beneath him, like Yo, he's going to need to make a lot of points up to get closer to Hart, Leary, or ACCM to try to grab that final spot. So let's see, what do we have now? We have Hart playing. So let's go take a look at Sebastian Hart on Vulpine. And here we go. And there we are. All right, so we'll have Sebastian. It'll be another Korean's mirror. Oh boy. New Vitality Hart. Vitality, and a very appropriate team name for Hart. Viper really stepped up, but I think he'd be in a much better spot if he had done that like 1 or 2 days earlier. Yeah, I agree. It's also kind of weird that he seems to be playing at a different time zone than the other players at the top. So he's not... I haven't really seen him playing too many games against Leary, Hart, Hera, Vinch, or ACCM. I haven't seen Vinch playing too much because he's in a very different time zone than everyone else. But at least I think Hera and the Vitality players have been playing a couple games against him. Why are Koreans picked so much? Skirms, Fire Lancers, and a good late game composition. I think the players have gotten to the point that the wood discount for Koreans is stronger than the HP buff for the Vietnamese, and have basically been going Koreans rather than Vietnamese, even without the Siege Tower. Remember, last time we saw Empire Wars in Red Bolt, there were a lot of Byzantine mirrors for skirms into camels, but I don't think that works against Fire Lancers now. Fire Lancers counter both skirms and camels. Would I place Dravidians if they start being banned? Dravidians, Byzantines, if they start being banned, then maybe we start seeing Saracens more. Maybe we see Burgundians more. At least if we have sets that are best of 5, best of 7, best of 9, even if they're not banned, we're only going to see them 1 game. It makes the settings on the ladder very different than the settings in the tournament itself. And Mining Camp going to go up there for Sebastian. Koreans can struggle versus Cataphracts, but that can take a long time to get into. We did see a matchup, it was MBL Yo, where MBL went for a tower rush and had a very extended feudal before going up and going straight to Cataphracts. And the problem with the Cataphracts is that they beat the Castle Age Fire Lancers, but once they transitioned to Imp and Yo got Elite Fire Lancer, where it increases their anti-cav bonus to 15, you need to get to Elite Cataphract, and Elite Cataphract is much more expensive to tech into than Fire Lancer is. And those were only Chinese Fire Lancers, those weren't even the best Fire Lancers. Do you know how many Civ bans? That's a good question. I haven't looked at that part of the handbook yet since I've been casting the ranked ladder. We can probably check up on that. So there is a workshop for Sebastian. Viper doesn't make it. Well, if Viper doesn't make it, he will still probably be top 8 and have a 1-set qualifier. So skirms, rocket cart to defend from the skirms from Hart. He gets a nice hit on the skirms there. And another hit, Sebastian. Ooh, that's not good for him. As he's trying to go for a tower, but he will even take a rocket cart shot to the Vils. And counter tower from Hart. Hart will lose some gold access, and losing gold can hurt your Fire Lancer production. 2 more golds for him just to the side if he wants to sneak out to them. Yeah, exactly, right? And you're also competing with Treb production in the early Imp Treb fights, which, for Byzantines, yeah, usually you win those fights. But if you then are relying on Cataphracts, you're not getting the counter unit you need for the Fire Lancers. Which are so strong but not restricted by the castle. Part of me feels the Fire Lancer would have been better as a unique unit with how strong it is, instead of a generic unit. Oh, and Let's see. That is a GG from Sebastian. Hart is victorious. As, yeah, that is a big res collected difference, big score lead, and some good mangonel shots killing the skirms. That tower will go down to the ram. And even with the raid being clean, that's not going to be enough to save Sebastian. He will call it. So sometimes these Empire War games end so quickly, but much better KD for Hart. Sebastian, not quite at the same level as Hart seems to be in these Empire War games. Yeah, that ram indeed was an issue for the forward. Let's see, is Viper still playing? I don't see Viper right now. Let's see, Yosiska, I might just wait a minute to try to find another game. MBL and Vivi are 20 minutes into their Spanish mirror. And no ACCM sighting. Maybe ACCM indeed did go to sleep now that he's back in the top 4. Let's see, is Lewis still grinding? Yeah, looks like Lewis might be taking a break. How it has affected casting? It's nice to have stuff to casting. What is video alert for each voice line? I added campaign voice lines for the sub alerts. And if we hit enough subs, I figured this is going to be a lot of effort, so I need to make sure people like the alerts first. I'll make a video, like a little 5-second clip for each campaign voice line. Like, so John Falstaff killing an army of rams, or Lahir getting his sword bloody, or Genghis Khan riding past with his horde. Alerts are amazing. I'm glad people like them. I've been enjoying them. And yeah, we'll wait a minute, I think. The other games are pretty far in. I don't want to skip through a game. Let's see, what is Tristan doing right now? He's waiting for a game too. Sobek and Monos, we could have a Huns War. It's a bit lower rated. Huns Wars could be interesting. Getting a turtle ship alert for the sub was the best thing. Is there a mod to get the OG voice lines? I think there is. I have the original game, and I just copied the voice lines from that. It's much simpler because they're all MP3 files there. But I think there are mods on the workshop. Audio editing is kind of insane for DE, though. In the original game or the HD edition, they're MP3 files. You just open the MP3 file in an audio editor and change it however you want. Let's do a non-mirror. We have Stark Gali on Dune Springs. I don't think I've casted the two of them yet. Stark is Cyan. Stark and Gali will be red on Dune Springs. That looks kind of interesting to me. Hello, Misty. Yeah, exactly. Don't want to speed through a game just to find that it's over. Anyone going Korean in any game can overtake ACCM? Well, he's won some Korean mirrors. He won a Korean mirror against Hart last night. Dave casted that. That was a great game. Oh, actually, I apologize. We won't do Stark Gali. We will do, though, Dogao Hart. We'll do Dogao Hart. And that'll be a non-mirror on Vulpine. There we go. So we'll have a 80-second spec delay. But this will be Dogao as the Burgundians, Hart as the Koreans. And where is Dogao on the ladder right now? He was up there before, but now he's down at rank 34. Now remember, the top 25 do get a payout for finishing the top 25. And Dogao needs what? Around 60 points to get there. So it's still in reach for him. And I imagine we will see some good competition between the people around this area. Oh my gosh, Slam does not want me looking at the screen right now. He's on an 8-loss streak. Okay, I'm sorry, Slam. I'm sorry, Slam. Scroll away, scroll away. Huang is top 30, yes. What happens to the number 1 player? The top 4 players on the ladder automatically get invited to the LAN. Everyone else has to play another qualifier, but the top 4 automatically get invited. So they get their trip to London. You have multiple monk mods installed, so the visuals for your monks are all over the place. They're I know what that's like. I once played. There was a mod for Voobly where you could play AoE 1 in the AoE 2 engine. Years ago, before they decided that would be a DLC, but I left that on at one point accidentally when I played AoE 2. So I had random AoE 1 graphics for everything in AoE 2, which was lovely. So we will cast this game. Oh wait, why did we not load into the game? What just happened? Sorry, we didn't load in. Now we're good. With legionaries instead of champs? No, with guard towers instead of champs. Alright, do I have them on the right side of the scoreboard? I do, and thank you, Trinaku, for the follow. So we will have Dogao as the blue Burgundians to the north, and Hart as the yellow Koreans to the south. And Flemish Militia, the opening for Dogao. I've seen Koreans Burgundians a couple of times, and my impression is that late game Koreans absolutely wreck the Burgundians. And if you're the Burgundians, you're going to need to be extra aggressive. Maybe the Flemish Militia let Dogao do that here, but I still would heavily favor the Koreans in this matchup. Burgundians, maybe on Rampart. You could pick them instead of Koreans. But I've seen this a couple times here and on Acclivity, and every time I've liked the Koreans more. Change weapon skins with boats so you could see people hiding behind trees. I remember Dave telling a story once of some custom scenario where you would stack all of your units in front of a watchtower so the enemy couldn't actually right-click the watchtower to attack it. It's hard as to fight with bills here. Early pressure from these militia. And then someone cheated by modding the watchtower graphics so the watchtower was taller or larger so they actually could click on it. And they had to investigate to figure out, wait, this should be impossible. How are they clicking on it? To find they had changed the graphics. Invited to London with family? I don't know the specifics. They are themselves traveling for the LAN event. Usually people can bring a +1. I don't know if that's paid for though.
대기.
So second range from Hart is Dogao's taking some good initiative with these militia. Alright, so maybe this is what he needs to do in the matchup. Forward with militia, go for skirms. And the thing about the militia is that they will be decent against skirmishers. So if you want to counter them, it can be nice to open with archers. But maybe the archers then are a liability against all the skirms that come out to accompany the militia and put you behind in skirm numbers. So Hart trying to wall. This map looks like it was not bugged, so the rock terrain does indeed run all the way to the TC. So you can't fully encircle yourself with walls. There will always be openings at the or an opening at the front with the rock terrain. You can go to the edge of the map on the back, but the rock terrain does prevent you from walling. Skirms here, fending some vills away. Wonder if we'll see Fire Lancers this time. Is there a hole there? There is a hole. And enough skirms now from Hart that maybe he can defend against this. Arson for Dogao. And he's going to decide, okay, I'm walled out. Let's go attack that range. And he still does have his vills forward. He has a forward range. And we'll be taking the berries by the mill. And so far, so good for this pressure. Hart buying food. Maybe thinking about going up soon, though. And once he gets up and can do Fire Lancer, then he should have a better answer to the skirms. And just like they beat Huskarls, I imagine they would beat Flemish Militia. No, but was ACCM the one who won that?
Davis.
What was that Nilly joke tournament? The Grand Melee, that one.
What's
Did he win that, or am I misthinking about that?
Davis. What's
定義 저요?
See. Davis.
I remember I did not watch any of that tournament. I just remember that was when Nilly told a joke. Oh, ACSM, he won Wandering Warriors Cup, but that was A tier. That was A tier. And Lancers kill Huskarls? Yes, we just saw that, Baron. They massacre the Huskarls.
See.
That's how ACCM just beat MBL.
Davis.
Lancers massacring Huskarls. Grand Melee was Hera? Was it? Okay.
Davis.
Why do I remember ACCM then? Maybe I'm just confusing that with something else. I'm probably confusing that with Wandering Warriors 2.
예? 준비해.
So Castle Age for Dogao, but he's going to be much slower than Harch. And what does Hart have? One barracks? Only one barracks, but we'll see Elite Skirm from him. And with Elite Skirm, he'll probably fend this off. Question is, does he add a TC right away? Or does he maybe want Ballistics or a Workshop? I imagine with only Skirms forward. Skirms and a couple of Militia, but only Skirms will probably do a TC. ACCM's just his name. It doesn't stand for anything. This is just his name. And I remember the days on the HD edition when ACCM would play in our Escape Gaming tournaments, and he was playing on a computer that did not even have a 1080p monitor. It was, I think, what's the resolution? It would be like 768. And he would have issues where sometimes he wouldn't have sound, and I once spent like 30 minutes with him on Skype of all things, trying to help him fix his sound for the HD edition to play Age of Empires. Oh man, that was crazy back then. 1280 by 768. Was there a size above that? That's probably it. That's probably it. But yeah, he didn't even have a 1080p monitor. I don't know what he has now. I remember maybe a year or so ago, he asked me about building another PC. So he's definitely has some upgrades at this point. ACCM? You say the letters. You say the letters.
C. Bonjour.
Bills go down. 1366. That's it. It's I think there are actually two. I think it's the 66 also could be a 68 in some designs. There were 2 pixels off from different measurements on that resolution. But yeah, 1366 by 768. That's it. That's what his monitor was. So Hart is now pushed out with Skirms, and he hasn't done a second TC, so he isn't booming yet. It's a full-on Skirm war, where the Burgundians at least do have the cheaper eco upgrades and maybe the better economy so far. Dogao 500 res collected ahead. Not fully walled though. Might hurt not having a wall between that house and that wood line, but he has the Skirms to come over and defend. We have 1 Flemish militia converted for Hart. He's an elite skirmer. Isn't everyone these days? I don't think you can play AoE 2 without elite skirms. Big Voobly vibes, big AOK vibes for the Skirm Wars. And looking at the Skirm numbers, 24 to 20, that would discount for the Koreans. Pays off the more the game goes on. That's the original Skirmer. I remember that Doubt game I watched on Zero Empire's channel, probably 13 years ago now, where he made Byzantine Skirms against the Goths and beat Huskarls with Skirms. Some Monk for Hart. Trying to pick up the relics. He has 1 already. All the relics surround the Tower of London in the middle. Tower of London does give you a trickle of resources. But because there's rock terrain around the woodline, we usually don't see players go for it until Imp. Alright, taking out some Vills. Adding in Ballistics does have Horse Collar now.
대기.
And ooh, more relics on the way and double relics. So that'll be 3 relics. And with the skirms around this side, might have cover to grab that 4th. That might be a bit too far forward, but he will aim for this one. Yeah, really needs more farms. It's hard to farm on this map with all the rock terrain. That's why I think we don't see Catans too much on this map, because the rock terrain actually blocks some of your pasture placement. You have to go pretty far away to place them down. And ooh, nice Mangonel shot. Nice Mangonel shot. Oh, the wolf going for the skirm. The wolf helps the Mangonel kill the skirm. There we go. We'll give a credit to the wolf there. The wolf gets an assist. Second, now third TC up for Hart. He did add another TC on his back golds. And I guess when you look at the maps, you start with some vills on the foxes and Dogao open with the range. And this is maybe a better map for Hart. Yeah, his main gold is there, but his second gold's out here in the back, whereas Dogao's second golds both are forward, where Hart's vills would have started. So this is where Hart was most likely to attack, and the golds are out there. Wolf was betrayed, he never should have died.
See.
Goths always feel like the most likely save to get bullied by an unorthodox tactic.
Wozot.
Well, Goths are the ones who want to be unorthodox themselves in the Dark Age with all their laming bonuses.
Wozot. See.
I guess they don't kill the boars faster anymore.
See.
Yeah, poor wolf. Betrayed.
Wozot.
준비.
Oh, the poor fox. What'd that fox ever do to you?
Abu Davis. Wozot. Abu Davis.
Oh, one rocket fired from the rocket cart. Mangonel splashes it. And range forward from Dogao being cleaned by Hart. Hart now up 65 to 54 vills. And feels like he's going to start pulling ahead in eco pretty soon. And down in skirms, but still managing to defend the hills and the rocket carts and some monk healing. And he did grab that relic, so 4-1 relics in favor of Hart. And I think the scores are still close for the moment, but I think Hart's going to pull away now. It's really tricky on this map, I think, to get consistent forward pressure. That's a rocket cart going down. Funny thing that the rocket cart bug is still a thing after monks. After months, it doesn't shoot all the projectiles. Yeah, you do have to stand still for a split second longer to make sure everything shoots.
See.
That can make the micro a bit harder, but it does feel that overall rocket carts are a bit stronger than Mangonels. From what I've seen, I feel that they managed to hit more with their splash damage.
See.
Oh my gosh, that was a good rocket cart shot right on cue from Hart.
Wozot.
Driving away Dogao's skirms and the Vil outpost Vil there ready to repair. Like a dud firework. Don't think we'll see Fire Lancer unless we see some skirms. Well, I think skirms are guaranteed pretty much every game on Empire Wars. Unless your Catan's making scouts.
Bonjour. Wozot.
Okay, some weak fills on the castle.
Si.
They are getting skirmed down. Scale Barding armor on the way for Dogao. I always feel like I get flattened with them, where a Mangonel wouldn't. Okay, trying to fight Mangonels with rocket carts. Really. From what I've seen, it feels like the rocket carts generally win. Maybe they're just harder to micro, though, because of that split second where you have to wait more. Oh, nice shot from Dogao. Both players losing some skirms to their to the enemy's siege. Shoots in the new direction. Hits your own troops. That'd be cute. Okay, another wolf, but I think that Vil will be fine. His friends are saying, you can deal with that yourself. We're not going to help you. You can take that wolf down. And there is Wheelbarrow on the way for Dogao, and we'll have Forging and a Bowsaw on the way for Hart. And monks here want some conversions. They will keep the Castilier away at least from the rocket cart. And now Castilier coming out, that will be something to deal with Skirm rocket cart. Not so much with monks. One of those monks maintained his conversion charge and gets an insta as the rocket cart gets a couple more skirms. Hart needs to delete that, and there, I think that was a delete and not a skirm kill. And Fire Lancers in the queue. It has started. It has started. I don't even know where that centered my view, but we are getting some Fire Lancers now. Yeah, the Fire Lancer is on its way. Gambesons, chainmail armor, all the armor upgrades. I don't even know if you need Gambesons for Pierce armor against Burgundians. I guess it helps against skirms if they get upgraded. Let me see. So it's 0 plus 2 and then a third. Yeah, so it does help against skirms. They get 3 total armor against 5 attack then. So yeah, it helps against the skirms. I had to think for a minute, but yes, it helps. Dogao needs Chem? Well, he's in the Castle Age. Devotion and Heavy Plow for him. Will be devoted against the monks. Can they do anything against Fire Lancers? I don't think so. Oh, 99.72% doubt mining camp. Pure Age on the way for Hart. And Dogao will try to raid with the Castilier. He will bring his Mangonel over. And try to keep track of the rocket cart, maybe with a Castilier. He wants to snipe it off, though. Something in the water, making them extra violent. In the Fire Lancer water. Oh, and the Dogao will call the GG. Yeah, he sees the Fire Lancers, and he's just like, you know what, I can't fight this. And to be fair, Hart has a good eco lead, too. So, as his forward is unsuccessful, not entirely cleaned up, but unsuccessful. He'll call the GG, doesn't want to play a late game against Koreans. It's an 84 to 74 KD for Hart, and 5,000 more res collected for Hart as well. So GG. And no more ACCM sightings. No more ACCM sightings, unfortunately. And okay, we're not going to have that in the chat. Alright, so what do we want to cast next? We have Dogao Cosmonaut, Lamo Gali. Yo, Stone, please. Vulpine, Koreans, Burgundians again. Oh, Celt's Shoe. Dogao Cosmonaut. MBL Vivi are doing Rampart again. Let me go MBL Vivi. I think we'll have to catch up. Or no, I think Team 90's casting that. We could do... I won't do the same Civ matchup again. Maybe Stark Wong Tree. Let's actually do Dogao Cosmonaut. Let's see, do I have Cosmonaut on my scoreboard? I don't know if I do. Second. And yeah, that'll be Vulpine Celt Shoe, just because it's an interesting Civ matchup. capture age there. I always need to close and reopen capture age between games, so it takes a minute to get in. Cosmonaut on black sails. Alright, so we'll have Shu Celts, a different Civ matchup at least. Looks like Dogao is opening Men-at-Arms. We'll have Cosmonaut here as the Shu, and Dogao as the Celts, as a couple of bears get involved. Wonder if he plays the Civ matchup differently? Maybe he does, not entirely sure. What do I think about removing Elite Fire Lancer? Koreans are so scary. YouTube held the comment. Silly YouTube. What is that house? Cosmonaut trying to wall in one of his vills so the Men-at-Arms don't snipe it down. Speedy Men-at-Arms from the Celts and Dogao. Dogao walling to the edge of the map. No bug here. Looks like the terrain does run through the TC. And the Tower of London in the middle, of course. Probably not going to be chopped through. Maybe Celts chop through wood lines faster, but I guess the distance is still crazy. Usually we only see treb cuts at the middle for this. We'll have a house coming up here for Dogao. Celt SO? I don't think we'll get Celt SO. Maybe Celt SO could be good against the Shu. I'd worry about traction trebs though.
Kid?
Skirms take out the scout as the spear chases the skirms. They are a bit weird with the attack. They're also a bit weird overall. I still don't have a great feel for them, but they feel incredibly powerful, even though they're weak against buildings. And what's the Shu advantage for the traction trebs? They can do bolt magazine. Does that affect? No, it doesn't affect the traction trebs. They have... Okay, it's just that they move faster. Okay, the unique tech... Thought that affected them, but that's the War Chariot effects. War Chariots I don't think will be good against Celts, because Celts will of course have faster firing mangonels that should counter the War Chariots pretty well. I think they actually fixed that at 1.7 Polar. Yeah, there used to be a difference between male and female villagers, that one of them had like a 1.5 frame delay and one had a 1.05 frame delay. I don't know if that was just trying to sync animations or was a typo or whatever, but one of them would actually be ever so slightly better in fights because they had a shorter frame delay. If they attacked at the same time, one of them would win. I forget which it was though. Yeah, if they attacked at exactly the same time, one of them actually would have an advantage. But I think they changed that in DE. And I know they changed a lot of attack animations and stuff, so I think it's even now.
Kid?
There's also a bug where I think if you typed in the Aegis cheat, it applied differently to villagers in some situations. And there was a weird bug on Nomad where some of them would have vision at the start before allied vision was the norm. So Skirm's chasing some archers around. Cosmonaut not finding damage with the archers. That's what you want to try to do, sneak your archers in and hit vills, but Dogao on point with his skirms, all the archers are cleared. And Cosmonaut, with this faster uptiming, will invest immediately into 2 TCs. And nice eco-management still to pump skirms while doing this, taking good advantage of the Shu woodcutting bonus. Shu get food while chopping trees, Celts chop the trees faster, both of them with a wood bonus. And Klingon 86, thank you for the follow.
Kia.
And Elite Skirm Bowsaw on the way. And Elite Skirm here for Dogao. Let's go Dogao, we got a Dogao fan. Isn't everyone a Dogao fan? Skirm's exchanging some javelin
何种命令？什么？何种命令？
Out of love.
Yeah, I might go and eat lunch soon, because I've been casting
准备
for
就绪。
about 2.5 hours.
什么？
I might come back
准
later.
备就绪。何种
We'll
命令？
go on an
准备
ACCM
就绪。
hunt tonight to try to cast him. And there is Ballistics. Ballistics on the way for Dogao.
何种命令？准备就绪。
Monastery coming up in the middle there for Cosmot to defend. Another farm on the way.
喂，何种命令？
什么？
Skirms go for the Vills.
喂？什么？什么？ Kid?
And, ooh, Vill goes down.
Out of love. Kid.
何种命令？
Okay, I will be back later.
Target it.
I need to eat some lunch. I feel it's maybe a bit healthier to break up the stream into 2 parts anyway, so I'm not casting 10 hours straight.
准备就绪。
I could tell by the end yesterday I was getting pretty tired. Not going siege with Celts should be illegal. Not going straight Huang Celts should be illegal.
Air love.
Let's see, Dogao still needs a bit of a wall.
准备就绪。
And I do worry about this Vill count difference now. Dogao only on 2 TCs, trying to add in some farms now.
何种命令？
So far, so good for defending with the skirms, and he is opening up a bit of a military lead. He has ballistics, so he will be able to pick off these skirms from Cosmonaut as they try to run away.
Kia?
Skirms hit the Vills. Vills have to garrison.
何种命令？
And oh, here comes the bear. Bear getting involved. Bear biting the skirms. And down they all go. I feel like the Celt eco buff is stronger as well. You feel like the Celt wood bonus, what is the bonus? Lumberjacks 15% faster versus generate food in addition to wood. Celt eco has always been a really strong bonus. Pretty simple bonus, but strong nevertheless.
Kid.
准备就绪。
I think that the food bonus, maybe this really depends on the map. Maybe late game Black Forest Celts might have the better bonus, but before you have all the farms added in and before you get the food eco established, I think that the shoe bonus matters more. Getting all that food and not needing the farm so you're not spending as much wood helps too.
Target it.
Now that's just the impression I've gotten from watching. I've never watched a Celts game and thought, wow, they have such a strong eco bonus, this is unfair, they're winning because they chop wood faster. But I have felt that way sometimes with Shu and their bonus. But that might be because it synergizes very well with their archer bonuses and their entire tech tree. I'll still say Crownwood is the map that I would most like to see in another event, maybe with a few tweaks to make it more random, but I really do like Crownwood.
什么？准备就绪。
Asking my
何
favorite
种
map.
命令？什么？准备就绪。
Out of love.
I do think Dorothea Quarry was pretty fun too, before it was unceremoniously removed. The Mangonel hits a Vill.
何种命令？准备
I think it
就
does
绪。
feel a bit like Karsts though, where it's very easy to
何
wall
种命令？
and defend and play defensively.
什么？
And I don't know if you actually do get too much aggression from it.
准备就绪。什么？
Crownwood would make it land madness. That's what I like about Crownwood, that it isn't pure land madness.
何种
If
命令？
Celts had Fire Lancers,
准备就绪。
let's not go there.
何种命令？什么？准备就
Now,
绪
if。Mongols had Fire Lancers for drilled siege towers, oh boy. So, forward castle. Outpost there will see the castle. But Dogao, maybe Dogao learned from that William Wallace campaign, and he's thinking, I gotta destroy the outpost, so it doesn't see my vills coming forward for the castle. And he decided, yep, I'll just build a house, and that way Cosmonaut won't know the castle's there, but joke's on him. Cosmonaut has Town Watch, and the outpost sees the vills anyway. 16 HP, at least destroy it, Dogao. Come on, you're right there. And there'll be a castle for Cosmonaut, and this could be risky for Dogao, because if the castle goes up, Cosmonaut will be imp first, and he'll be in a good spot for the Trebor. I don't think the Kelp Mangonels will be in time to stop that, 85% already.
准备就绪，
And what's the Shu unique unit again? The White Feather Guard. So not even a situation where Dogao can add a workshop and go for a ram push against the White Feather Guards,
什么？
to our melee unit. And we will undoubtedly see traction trebs as soon as Cosmonaut finishes going up to Imp. And I don't know if Dogao will be able to push the castle. How do Woad Raiders do against White Feather Guards? Considering the White Feather Guards are a new infantry unit, I guess maybe they win.
何种命令？
Woads are faster, at least.
Target it.
There you go. They do have more attack, and they're much faster. With one pierce armor, I guess, from their shield.
Kid.
Not as much HP, though. And what do the White Feather Guards do? They slow units down, right? So temporarily slows the unit it attacks. But Wood Raiders are fast enough, or how slow do they get? Oh, that's absolutely crazy. They can slow down Woad Raiders. Yeah, that's true. The Shu only have forging. They can't get attack upgrades. And 3 Woad Raiders will chase the Mangonel under the TC. Repairs come in, but the Mangonel goes down. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That got really low, but the Woad Raiders sniped off 4 of them now, fertilizing those farms under the TC. White Feather Guards wanting to snipe off Mangonels. The Mangonel from Cosmonaut gets a good hit on the Skirms, clears one of the Kelp Mangonels. The other goes down. This Mangonel will be repaired. And Dogao unable to push. He himself is clicked up, but now the traction trebs will come out and be at least on level ground against this castle.
何种命
Blast
令？
Furnace Woads. And Woad Raiders also could think of running under the castle fire to try to snipe off traction trebs with how fast they are. There would need to be a lot of them, though, to make that worthwhile and still keeps them alive. And castle now for Cosmonaut to the north.
什么？何种命令？
Skirm's taking the Woad Raider down. And I think Cosmonaut's in a good spot here, up by almost 30 vills. Treb advantage. Dogao's gonna have to hope that those Woad Raiders indeed are a strong unit in this matchup.
Level up.
何种命令？
喂，
Wood's coming over to hit the vills on the berries.
喂，
Kid.
Hills go down. Are Woad Raiders good? They always just seem worse than Cav.
Target it.
They're decent. Certainly not one of the best unique units, right? You're not going to put them up there on a pedestal next to Conquistadors.
什么？
But
Kid.
they still have serve their purposes and have their niche.
Level up.
If they were made from the barracks, they'd probably be OP. Yeah, they're not countered by halbs, which is nice.
Level up.
Here.
Target it. Kid. Target it.
You usually do make them rather than Kelp Paladins, at least. So they'll go up to Imp, but Elite White Feather Guard is on the way.
Kid.
准备就绪。什么？
Roads will help in this fight. A couple of Woads raiding in the back. This is what they're good at with how speedy they are. 1.4 speed. They're actually faster than Knights without Husbandry. Actually faster than Gebetto Warriors, too.
Target it.
Gebettos get to 1.38 with Squires.
Kid. Target it.
And Vil goes down. White Feather Guard's still chasing, but he's way too slow. He's way too slow to catch the woads.
准备就绪
You。gotta move that decimal point over.
Target it.
Flip the 4 and the 0. So third castle for Cosmonaut. And he essentially controls 3/4 of the map. But here come the Woad Raiders about to get their final armor upgrade. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of traction trebs that could be slaughtered. That's a lot of White Feather Guards that could go down. And this is a good fight for Dogao. Okay, here we're seeing the Woad Raiders being put to good use. Okay, let's go Woad Raiders. Celts OP, where's our base? Where's our base? Let's see some Woad Raider success. Traction Trebs
什么？
chased and going down. Woad Raiders, that's 5 traction trebs. A couple more are very weak. At least 3 of them down. Is this a 4th that'll go down? It's close. It's close. 1 hero Woad Raider. Almost. But that was a good fight there for Dogao. Closed the score difference a bit. And he has some more Woad Raiders, but they will run into a castle. I don't want to fight there for too long. And Ivy, hello Ivy. Hope you're doing well.
什么？何种命令？什么？
And that was without iron casting.
准备就绪。
And the more upgrades they get, the better they'll be. Remember, these are elite White Feather Guards against only Castle Age Woad Raiders. To be fair, the Castle Age Woad Raider looks much better than the Imp one. Puts on too much clothing with the elite upgrade.
Kid. Target it.
何种命令？
So Tribs here going for the castle. Yeah, moving forward with the Tribs. Taking this castle, taking it down. There is Elite Woad Raider.
Kid.
Look at a castle. Definitely the Castle Age ones. The Castle Age ones definitely look better. And no question about that. Like, look at those hats they have. Like they're covering up way too much. And are they gonna win this fight though? Now they're elite. They have 17 attack. That'll be 19 once Blast Furnace comes in. And under the castle, 1 hero Woad Raider left. That Treb needs to be repaired. That Woad Raider is going to kill all these White Feather Guards. The Vils are not repairing. And the Treb goes down. More Woad Raiders in. But the Trebs did what they needed to do in destroying the forward castle. Less anxiety soup. I hope you get some good old chicken noodle soup, Ivy. Get some proper soup. Skirm going through the White Feather Guards as the Woad Raiders are winning this fight. Okay. Celts. Dogao is down for a while, but maybe he has the army composition now that is undealable with by the Shu. Is that a word? They can't deal with it. I need to see Arb. Well, that's what we're gonna have now. Crossbow, Bracer, Chemistry, and remember the Shu do have what is it? The Bolt Magazine. They can get the Chuko new Arbs. I just looked at this, like the back of this. Does this guy look like he's like Chiron with the glow? Almost like a centaur from Age of Mythology. I would like squint my eyes and I don't know what's, like there's something behind him. Maybe I'm going crazy. Yeah, undealable with. that is an English word we can invent. And oh, this might be a doubt TC from Dogalo. Woad Raiders will deal with the elite White Feather Guards.
Kid.
准备就绪。何种命令？
And oh, Orlu, thank you very much for a raid.
准备就绪。
We're gonna go offline ourselves too pretty soon. But thank you for the raid. You raid into Woad Raiders. See some onager here at least.
准备就绪。
And do we have bolt magazine now? Yes, we do. So we have Truco New Arb. Look at everything they shoot. And that will now maybe slow down the Woad Raiders. They're still lurking in the forest down there. We'll have guilds on the way. More of these elite Woad Raiders running forward at high speed, wanting to maybe get behind the Arbs and take a fight, force them to stop hitting the TC. Dogao will have to worry about gold controls soon. He's going purely for a gold unit. And some more outposts everywhere from Cosmonaut, even losing the castle. But he will be keeping track of where Dogao's taking gold. He has 1 gold tile in the back of his base, 200 gold left there. That'll be taken. A couple of gold mines under that castle. Not even 150 gold there. He's going to be out of gold soon. And without gold, what do Celts do against these Arbs? They don't have Bracer for their skirms. He's going heavy Scorpion. At least that upgrade doesn't cost gold. But he's going to need gold to produce Scorpions. He is taking 2k gold and mining out here. Where else is he going? He's doing what he can to salvage the rest of the gold, but all of a sudden, from 30 to 14 bills on gold, he's running out. Woad Raiders, though, getting a nice raid in Cosmonaut's Eco. Cosmonaut only 103 vills. Dogao can get to 200 pop. Maybe he has the pop limit that he could use to win. But he has to run off with this gold from the middle. And now, what does he do? Only 3 heavy Scorpions. Siege Engineers on the way. At least that doesn't cost gold. Woad Raiders getting picked off all those Arbalest bolts. And Bolt Magazine. Oh no, Woad Raiders now are going to be shredded by them. A unit that only 5 Pierce Armor. It's less Pierce Armor than we saw from those Fire Lancers. From the Koreans. Gambesons does not apply to them. The Scorpions against all the arrows might even go down fairly well. See how the Arbs do if Cosmonaut micros and pays attention. He's trying to destroy the TC. I think the Scorpions will be more dangerous though. And these Arbs from Cosmonaut, they'll kill some more Woad Raiders, but they're getting cleaned up. That was not a great fight for him. Just left the army there and didn't micro it anymore. As the gas slowly but surely adding in skirms, but 0 on gold anymore. 15 on gold still for Cosmonaut. He has gold by this TC. Claim the gold Dogao is trying to take. There's another gold in the north he'd like to take. That still has a bit left. But he'll be running out of gold soon too. Has a couple more gold tiles in his base. Still a bit of gold here and there. And having a ranged unit in the back that's not constantly dying like the Woad Raiders will be a better way of conserving gold. Fraction Shrub's going for the workshop. If the Korean mirror is behind, the map's not too shabby. Although you know where there is a good source of gold. 1, the 4 relics for Dogao, but 2, the Tower of London, where the Celts bonus. They chop wood faster. They have those vills have to run a marathon, but at least they have handcart. He's trying to chop through and get to the Tower of London. Maybe this is his source of gold. Hello. Fire Lancers aren't true infantry, you say? They had more attack, they'd feel like a Shotel. They'd be probably more powerful than a Shotel. Shotels at least have very low HP. But Cosmonaut feels like he's pushing now. It feels like the gold situation is getting pretty dire for Dogao, and now the traction trebs can come out and help try to deal with the Scorpions. He's almost to the middle. Remember, everyone does have full vision of the middle, so Cosmonaut will be aware that Dogao's planning to chop through. Chinese watchers too, people probably interested in seeing how Yo does on the ladder. Dogao also was in SY. Remember those days, SY Dogao? In Clan Masters? Arb's going down as a Traptor Trap hits the wood line. Oh, that was a good market value. 1,000 food for just about 800 gold? Dang. The market was not used before that. But now we have, oh my gosh, this is a big army of White Feather Guards, and we're seeing how strong the Traction Trebs are against the Scorpions. Look at the Scorpions going down. Road Raiders rushing forward. Arb numbers going down slightly to the Scorpions, though. And is Dogao winning this fight? Are the Traction Trebs enough? That's a lot of Scorpions. 15 Scorpions. Only 4 Traction Trebs, but they're continuing to pick off Scorpions and do damage. Will Dogao be able to replenish his military after this fight? He's losing Woad Raiders. Oh, Feather Guards. The White Feather Guards melted to the Scorpions and the Woad Raiders. But all the Scorpions have also melted to the Traction Trebs. Everything's dying here. Down to 150 pop though for Cosmonaut. Dogao, 0 vills on gold. Has to keep pumping military, but has more pop for now. I think Dogao with a crazy good KD, but he might still lose if he doesn't have any gold. And he didn't even chop through yet. That's another tree he has to get through to get to the middle. And in the north, a couple of Woad Raiders running after outposts. The Hares are trying to hop off the edge of the map. Look at them go. They're saying, oh no, we're tired of these Traction Trebs and Scorpions. We're afraid, we want to flee. They can't get out. No escape for the Hares. No escape for the Hares. What does the tower do? Tower of London is a trickle of resources. You get wood, food, and gold.
什么？何种命令？准备就绪。
Look at the Scorpion. Those bolts, I guess, with chemistry, they look scary. Time for Kelp Paladin switch. I don't think he has gold for Kelp Paladins now. Kelp Paladins. Oh wait, Cosmonaut calls the GG? What Cosmonaut? Is he... Let's see. We do have some Woad Raiders here. Is that really GG for him yet? 47 minutes in. Ooh, I don't know about that. I was about to say, with Dogao out of gold and most of his army cleared, he's going to start running out of resources.
什么？
Does he need gold too? Let's check his gold. He had a lot more gold than Dogao did, but now if we look around his base, maybe he mined all the gold. So he does say, well, I guess it says 0 everywhere. He had 1 gold mine left. Thing is, Dogao's playing without gold too, and there's still a gold here. And there's 700 gold there that feels like he should be able to take. Maybe not with these Woads raiding down here, though. See, still 30 Woad Raiders for Dogao, so I guess he still has a good military left. Still 21 Arbs, 2 Traction Trebs. Yeah, maybe that is over. That's a situation I'm used to seeing players. I feel like a lot of players will keep playing on there. They both took a fight. I don't think it was as bad as he thought. But I don't know. It doesn't feel too bad. Maybe he was afraid Dogao was gonna make a Kelp Paladin swap. Anyway, I think I'm gonna raid someone now, and I'm gonna go eat some lunch, and hopefully we'll have the Vitality players on a bit later. ACCM, 35-game win streak. Now let's check up. Let's check up on ACCM real quick. What are his stats here? If I click that, that's slightly cut off. But he has 23 games as the Koreans. He lost a couple of games before his win streak, but he is Koreans or Catans, and I guess hasn't played Dune Springs, where he would need the Roman mirror. He hasn't really gone for the Roman mirror yet. Look at that elo graph. That's a crazy streak. Anyway, so recently, who has he beat? MBL Random 1300. I don't know who that is. MBL, Heart, Doubt, Kapach, Para, Nikov, Classic Pro, Vivi, Gali, Kasva, Jordan, Yo. And he did beat Hera too in there somewhere. Where is that? Yeah, beating Hera. That is impressive from him. Anyway, we'll be back later. We'll be chasing ACCM later tonight. Let me check who is streaming. Find someone whom we can raid. Let's see, we'll send a raid maybe over to Daniela, and I think we'll also end stuff on YouTube too. So I'll see you all probably later tonight. And Lord Dictator, we'll be back later tonight. I think Yo is playing Barles now. Daniela might be casting that. I don't know what she's casting, but we'll raid her. So I'm going to eat some lunch, and I'll come back in a few hours later.